No, just that one. This one's the one. No, we gotta do something else. You need password?
Oh, yeah, they get some smart suits.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Phoenix is KWNE.
Yeah, like a little dog. Always been.
And then
Thanks for the invite.
thank you. I'm excited to have you here, man.
Already
Oh, yeah. There we go. That's his thing.
Three. Anybody wants to go to some Vegas this weekend?
I don't, but
That's good.
that'd be cool.
I think it was really.
I'm sure we have some country folk.
Me and my friends, you're walking. Started wrestling and. I bought like boxes. I brought him outside so you can see.
I have two extra tickets this weekend in Vegas if you're interested.
And
You don't have to go. You just have to meet us.
as soon as I was done, he started going.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm looking for like after like 2 hours, but these people or something.
Saturday night. Yeah.
We're leaving Friday. I think we're just going to, yeah, Saturday.
You come with a, you come with us some money.
Oh, you've been
Scott and Alex.
Hotel room, but you can get your own room. So, yeah, but I have friends who want to.
Just stranger.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
myself, my wife, and her friend, and we're sharing a room. You know, when
She loves
You gave one to.
You didn't get one?
Yeah.
I guess you get the lead, but I feel like go for it. You get the lead, you get the lead, you get the lead. Okay, anyone missing this form right here? Yeah. All right. See this big fat QR code that's bigger than the rest of them? That one right there? That's how y'all can get your leads. So if you haven't signed up, I would like you to sign up now. Data. And we will better explain what the secret lead is, or data courses. Okay. Okay, we've got like 3 minutes. So if anybody needs to use a restroom, I'm not a heathen. You're more than welcome to go back in that back corner and do service to your bladder. Not that one, please. I prefer porcelain, not drywall.
Oh, you don't use the back one, you use the red one.
Norman.
D-O-R-A-N.
No, Norman, like,
Oh, you know what?
yeah.
I know.
Yep, that would be correct.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Of course I miss it.
Yeah.
All right.
For some reason I had, but anyway. Samstown. Or Richmond. Samstown? You never heard of Samstown? It's a country. They got Atrium. Oh, it's a country. That's why I like. They got Samstown. You see the
Okay.
everything else is like $300 tonight.
I have some seats over here too, still, if you guys need some workable room with access to ground electricity. I want those in my house now.
Yeah.
Like the little, yeah,
Plug-in thing?
yeah.
I have one on my desk. I got it.
Is it? Yeah. Okay, guys, we are sitting at 1 o'clock. So, I guess, hey, Google. I'm always bad. See, now I gotta go yell at her. Hey, Google. Lower. Okay. If you guys don't know me, I am Rachel. I'm a royal pain in the butt. I promise you. And you guys all know that the only language I speak is Legion. It is the only language I speak. I think everything that we do can be sourced back, and I do not believe that we are using our leads appropriately. Following up, and I think we're all struggling with conversion. So today is our second annual script off. And before I announce who's coming, I just want to kind of go through what we're going to expect. Okay. So thank you everybody for coming, because we've got a mixture of a little bit of everybody, newbies, tenured agents, veteran agents from this brokerage, from our sister brokerage. It's like super exciting. Okay. So today we're going to do the scripting match, and it is between Mr. Eric Bowlby over here and Alex Bajaro. So we've got just a stellar, like, top producing lender over here, and we have our OP, used to be our team lead. Okay, so they're in the trenches doing all the things. So we're gonna have some fun. Can you guys all just do me a favor? I'm gonna act like I'm sitting. Okay, we just feel under our butts a little bit. Don't rip, don't pull, just feel. Okay. Oh, yours fell. Fail, party foul. So we noticed that there's a little piece of paper under there, right? Okay, you guys have an objection.
You'll stay out or not?
You guys could just put it upside down if you're gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna go 3 rounds, people. Out of everything that we are dealing with, what is the theming of everything? Like buyer, seller, what's the theme? Money, commission, buyers, or changes, right? Like back in 2008 when the market did what it did, right? I feel like we had to just wait the market out as a real estate agent, right? But our lenders, inspectors, appraisers and stuff, they kind of got their rears handed. They had to change the way that they operated. Adrian, sorry. My bad. I do that. It's like Tourette's. Okay, so this time, guys, this is changing our industry. Okay, we're changing our forms, the way that we're talking. We're having to change the way that we are moving and navigating through our own industry that we felt that we knew like the back of our hand. So normally we would have more sellers than we would buyers for our round offs, but this time we're going to do 2 rounds of buyers. That's the only clue, Alex and Eric, you're going to get. And 1 round of sellers. So if you got red, you are part of the seller group. If you got orange or pink, you are part of the buyer round. Okay. So these objections, you guys can raise your hand at any time and interject it, and they need to be able to pivot. Now, why am I doing this? And please, I hope they love me at the end of this. I really do. Because if any of us know one thing, whether you're seasoned at making calls or you're not, is it's really challenging to pick up the phone and have the conversation and know what to say when we're not in front of somebody. And then when we meet them, we are better, but also being able to have some of that default program or that default response, right? So that we can handle those objections, but still we're scared, right? Like we don't know what they're going to come at us with. So we are going to put these two gentlemen in the hot seat and we're going to make sure that they feel the way that we feel. Okay. So if you feel like rewriting or have a better way of saying your little objection, feel free. Let's get crafty. I'm always up for a little spin to things. Okay. Nicole, I see your beautiful face on there. Okay, everybody else. Let me, if it will work. Okay. I'm gonna have technical difficulty. I see how this is gonna go. Can someone turn the Google down for me?
Hey, Google, volume down.
Thank you. See me, I'm like, hey, Google.
Hey, Google. Volume down.
This one's being really funny, guys. Give me a second. It like froze and totally took my whole thing away.
More or you want down? You want down more?
Angel, hello, my love. Okay, no, that's good. Okay. So, oh, and I guess I'm not casting. I'm really having all the issues today, people. Trade me in. They hired me. Hi, my dear. Now we're moving again. Okay. So we're kind of just settling into our 15 minutes, letting everybody kind of fill the room, give you a little bit of overview. The first hour, so boys, you can sit down and rest your legs for just a minute. I'm gonna give you some tools. We're gonna go through my favorite thing, and that is concept scripting. You'll never, okay, that's not fair. If you ever want to ring, I will do that with you. It's not my favorite thing though. I am more of a concept scripter. I more go, what's your problem? Okay, let's dig into our tool belt. You know me, I probably always have a solution for something. We're probably not using something the way that we need to and have a perspective to help us with that scripting, okay? So we're gonna go through some KW stuff and a couple of, yeah, I think most of it's KW actually. We're gonna take a 15-minute break after that. And the reason why is I want you guys to be pumped up. I want you to do jumping jacks, get some water, clear your bladder, whatever it is that gives you the pep in your step. Because for the next hour and a half, we are going to put these guys through some things. Next time, I need boxing gloves and a microphone so I can.
Real fighters don't use much.
Okay,
I guess stop gloves.
you're gonna make me take my hoops out.
Get some wrap.
Okay. All right. I am a huge proponent of setting expectations. So this is a group activity, people, and we are sitting next to some amazing humans in this room. Okay. I expect participation. Type in, you got a thought, a question, whatever. This is your opportunity to collaborate with like-minded, intelligent individuals. Okay. Note taking. Take all the notes, snap all the pictures, scribble all over your page, whatever you got to do to focus and retain the information. It's all there. We're all here to just share the information. Breaks. I am truly not a heathen. You need to use the restroom, go use the restroom. Okay. We will have that one break. It just says 2 designated breaks. That's a lie. And commitment. Okay. Everything that we do in this industry, people, is all about consistency and commitment. Okay. So showing up, I appreciate you all showing up. Everybody who's been to my listing classes this quarter, I appreciate seeing all your beautiful faces. Any questions for me or anyone before we begin? No. Awesome. Okay. How many of you read from a script when you do your calls? I don't care if it's database, expired, cancel. Who's reading from a script? Okay.
Kind of, I memorized it, but.
Okay. Can I ask you what it is that you're calling in?
Asking for referrals
Okay.
to my database.
Okay.
I just started to do some services setting.
Okay. So farming. Okay.
I'm gonna dive into pieces.
Ooh, girl, the know-it-all seller, man. And I just want to be honest, calling agents is like calling cancels, BISBOs and expireds all over again. Y'all are really hard. I love it. Mark, who you calling?
Cancel expire.
Yeah, you're pretty good. He's always good about tweaking his stuff. Bryce, who you calling?
Circle, and SRS.
Yeah, so you're calling your farming, your demographic farming that you're doing. Anyone else want to pipe in? I call recruits. What you got, girl?
I have fire, share, and,
I love it. So these few concepts in scripting that I'm going to show you guys before we have them all do the things, and this is where I want you guys to participate, okay? These will help a buyer or a seller renter. We're doing group homes, we're doing flips, wholesales, I don't care. It's all about digging into and finding the information that's vital for you to pivot through the conversation and get all the vital facts. Okay, so the first one, I'm just gonna have problems with this. I can see I shouldn't put videos in any of my stuff. Moving forward. Let's see if it'll let me do it, guys. Alex, do you know the like loop around this with the videos? To get it to go to the next slide.
If you're playing the answer, yeah.
Okay, without having to skip out of my presentation. Sorry, guys.
There's the video that you played.
No, I don't need it. I just want to move to the next slide. It's being weird. Okay. Who's heard of the Ford method? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who knows what that is? Do you know off the top of your, well,
Nope.
you just went,
No.
you just gave all the secrets away, Alex.
Family occupation. There you go.
You think you love me. Okay, family and occupation.
sound of the recreation.
The drinks.
Okay, absolutely, right? So Ford is designed to kind of dig into the, I think like their emotional motivations, right? So if you guys, you don't have it, they're up here. You'll notice that there's some QR codes on this pretty little sheet I created for you, okay? Each one of these is going to go back to these pieces. So if you guys need to re-review, those resources are there for you, okay? So when I read Ford, just knowing that F, right, stands for family and friends, I'm going to ask them, you know, family and friends. I know Alex, this is one of his favorite. Occupation, what do they do? You know, what keeps their time? What brings them, you know, the money? What do they do? Join, words are not going to be my friend. Good thing I'm not scripting off. Recreational, what do they love to do? What does their family love to do? Now, the fourth thing, it does ask you to ask them what their kids love to do. I do not recommend doing that. A little bit creepy. Ask what their kids love to do. Could you imagine doing that on cold calls? So what do your kids love to do? What kind of activities do they love? Don't do that one, okay? But, and then dreams, what are their aspirations? Where are they trying to be, right?
Motivation.
Yeah. Is that a script? Am I reading from a piece of paper? No. Okay, these things are designed for us to go, okay, family, like plug and play, right? Oh, I'm having this great conversation. Well, my daughter is in 2nd grade. Oh, well, okay. Where should she go to school? You know, we got other kiddos, like, what's your life look like, right? These are ways to get you kind of like, so like cat's claw. Anyone's got that? Like it gets its way in and then just wiggles until it breaks through, right? Okay, so who has used the Ford method? Okay. Yeah, okay, I like it. Ooh,
I have.
a lot of hands. You have, okay. So feedback.
I feel like it helps.
Always works with conversation.
If you use it organically, right? Laura, is that your beautiful face?
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm eating burritos, so I was trying to not let you see my burrito face.
Oh, then I shouldn't have put you in front of the whole class. Oops, my bad.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, how's it work for you?
I feel like it helps, like, honestly create that relationship with you and that person by asking those personal needs. And like, not only like do I try to take it and like file it in, sometimes I'll make notes on my phone so that I can make sure I update command. So like I can get like some of those, like the birthday information, how many kids they have, like all of that. So I can start to file away because it's too many clients to remember all of them. But I that's what I like about it. And I think it helps create that ice break barrier and that form of trust so
I
that they
like
do
that
want
you
to.
said that. Like an icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
Breaks that ice. Yeah. Alex, do you have anything to add to this? Because it's like your favorite thing. Is he hiding? He's hiding. I see. Am I getting you already? I've been working on this.
Want to take over?
No. Okay.
You want, about Ford. So, all right. What was the consensus? Raise your hand if you've used this method.
Yeah, we had.
Yes? Okay, perfect. So, one of the biggest things, right? Eric, we were actually just in the conference room. It's always a friendly reminder, right? It's about having a psychological advantage on the people that you're talking about, right? That is the whole point of scripting. And so the great thing about Ford is like your job is to get people to like, know, and trust you. Okay. Well, who do you trust? The people that you feel like that care about you, right? So when you go through this, right, the delivery of it, you could be the worst of it, but the questions are so sincere that it's gonna work, right? And that's what you really need to know about it. So when you're asking them, hey, depending on where you're at, right? Somebody gives me a call and they're like, well, how's Lennox and Caleb? I'm like, oh, they're doing great. They're like, oh, are they playing sports right now? I'm like, they are. Just got into flag football, right? One hates it, one loves it, right? All of a sudden, I'm warming up to that person naturally because they asked about the two things, right? The two things in my world that I care about more than anything, right? So when they ask me about my job, I get a moment to what? What are most people going to do when you ask them about their job? Vent. Thank you for yes, right? Yes, please. They are going to vent, right? So now you've got them thinking about their family they love. Now you gave them an opportunity to vent, right? Now, what's really powerful, when you ask them what they get to do for fun, they get the moment to reflect. Are they doing it? Have they been getting to do that? But what's really powerful, right? And I want to challenge you guys. If you're with KW, and chances are any CRM will have a spot for you to do this, but if you're in command, you can add custom fields in command, okay? Like you should have a dream custom field in your command. Because when you get to this is going to be the most awkward part. The thing is that Ford is a way better acronym than Ford, okay? Because really what we're asking for in their dreams is their goals, okay? Hey, you know what? I've been really wanting to get into a better relationship with those in my world. Jody, hey, out of curiosity, like what are your goals over the next 5 to 10 years? Like what haven't you accomplished that you want to accomplish? Don't worry, Jody, you don't have to answer. But right? Now they're like, well, we've been really wanting to take this really big family vacation. We just haven't been able to afford to yet. We've been wanting to buy an investment property. We've been wanting to upgrade. Now, here's the really funny part. This is everybody calls it quits before they get to the goals part because they just get uncomfortable. Not everybody, but I would say the majority of people, right? And yet, if you can get to that part and you know your clients to that extent, you don't know what they're going to share with you, but if all of a sudden you come across a way to help them move that needle forward in that department, tell me who else is doing this in their life, if not you. The only, literally in all of my career, I've only had people say, one person said a banker and another person said their dentist. Ever. Like our job is this. And the messed up part is 80% of us are not doing it. If you don't know your clients at this level, how do you know when their pain points are going to show up before they do when it comes to their real estate? We want to have kids. It's one of our goals. Great. You're probably going to need a bigger house than that condo you're currently in. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. All right.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alex. I can see why I brought him in. Okay. So great ice barrier or breaker, great way to like emotionally connect. Okay. Now we're gonna go. You're not working your camera. We're gonna do this, people. Okay. Who's heard of LPT Mama? Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. It's a big acronym. This comes from Emily Baker, who's a MAPS coach here with Keller Williams, okay? Or she was. I'm not sure if she still is, okay? I come from an ISA world. licensed, unlicensed, building those departments, right? LPT Mama was designed to get the appointment. If everything was gotten on this list, then we had every vital piece of information that we needed, and therefore the appointment was valid. We would not pay an ISA unless they had gotten LPT Mama. Why? Buyer, seller, doesn't matter. Location. Where's the property located on the seller side? Where do I want to be on the buyer side? We have to know location, okay? Price. How much do I think my home is worth? How much do I think I can afford? Okay, timeline. Am I playing with the market or do I have to move right now? Okay, that timeline will allow us to shift and pivot, right? How fast we need to move or guide them. So seller, money. Do I have to sell to buy, right? Am I going to finance? Am I going to, pay cash for the next one? Like, what do I need to do? Same thing for a buyer. Do I need finance, cash? Do I need to pull, assets out? What do I need to do? Agency. How many of you have talked to someone and you gave your hopes up or went on an appointment and found out that you were never going to represent them because they were already being represented or had vetted someone else? If it's not everyone in this room, then you guys haven't done deals. Okay. We have to ask what their agency looks like. Okay. Because my brother, sister, mother. Okay. Okay. Well, is it usually best practice to do business with family?
Nope.
Not usually, right? Like, could you pay a referral fee to compensate that agent for being a part of it, but still offering the ability to, transact and help them out with it 100%, right? You're not going to know how to do that if you don't ask if they have anyone in their corner that they think they're going to use. You don't know what you're against if you don't ask, okay? Motivation. Why? Why do I have to sell or want to sell? Why do I have to buy or want to buy, right? Our motivation always goes back to our pleasure or pain point, in which, again, we're hired to do three things: be the best problem solvers in the entire world with no sleep, food, or energy. We are to be the best psychologists and the best lawyers out there. Am I wrong? Okay. So motivation, if we don't know that we need to, pivot back off to the pain point, right? Well, I want to go see my kids and I don't want to miss any of my grandkids' things over in Florida. I'm over here in Arizona, right? Well, I don't want to move the price. Well, the kids are important to you, right? We don't want to miss Ella's recitals anymore. If you want to get to Ella's next recital, and that's important when her school starts, we need to make sure that we're doing what we need to get you where we need to get you, right? So we have to know motivation. So if we've gotten location, price, timeline, money, agency, and motivation, we should be asking for the appointment. They have told us where they're going to go or where they live. Okay. They have told us financial information. They have given up if this is an immediate need or they're just kind of futzing around. Okay. They have told us, again, going back to the money thing, now we're going to dig into things. They told us who they're trusting, and then they told us our why. You should be able to get the appointment after this. Okay. So again, is this a read from a script? No. Could you sit down and make your circle prospecting and start to organically have a conversation with someone, have that sitting next to you and go, oh, they mentioned something about the mortgage. Oh, price. You don't have to get them in this order, right? It's just you need to be able to identify these pieces because these are all the biggest pieces that you're going to have to deal with in your transactional and lead pipeline. Okay. Any questions about this? What time are we at? Sometimes I go fast. I know. Okay. Who's used LPT Mama? For the ones. Court? Okay. You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys found that it's easy to get the information if you're just pinging off and
Do you know what the one that I struggle the most?
Yeah.
Amazing is motivation.
okay.
You know how you would say like, what is that important to you? And they tell you.
Yeah,
And you have to ask again, and what is that important to you? And I always get like, oh my gosh, just too many questions.
so I pulled Chris Voss out of this because I wanted to give more time for the script off. But has anyone heard of Chris Voss? And I know some of my people have. Okay, huh?
Did you write a book?
Well, a few.
A few, is
Okay.
the one negotiating?
Yes. So Chris Voss used to be one of our top FBI hostage negotiators. He wrote the book on hostage negotiating, okay? My favorite thing is that he looks at the person on the other side. That's not the adversary, it's the counterpart. The situation's the adversary, right? He's talking about like hostage situations, like someone's gonna lose a head if he doesn't make the right move, and he's still looking at the other side with respect, okay? And just gonna ask you, this is an honest place, okay? How many of us really look at the other side when we're trying to go against a seller or a buyer to try to convert them? And we're really looking at them as a counterpart and trying to get them to see things from our side. We're just trying to push them, right? So Chris Voss's thing is pretty cool. I will share the information with you guys tonight. I've got the workbooks, I've got the videos, I've got all the things if you guys want it. But he'll have you, he calls it tactical empathy, right? Someone give me a statement about themselves. Anyone? Come on, y'all know this.
I'm brave.
I am a realtor.
You're brave.
That's a statement about us.
The statement?
I'm a realtor.
You're a realtor? It's not working the way I want it to. Okay, so typically, no one likes awkward silence, right? Like you guys are waiting for me to do something else because you know I'm going to do something. But the point of this is if we repeat the last 3 words of a sentence or even 3 keywords in a sentence with an inflection that exhibits curiosity, and we have a dynamic pause, it will encourage them to want to fill the void. When they fill the void, they start to unpack. If we sit there and just keep mirroring, they're going to unpack and unpack and unpack and pack. They think that we're listening really well, and we are. We're listening intentional. So Chris Voss will then pair it with labeling, okay? And he encourages mislabeling because we're trying to get the no to get the yes, right? So if Laura, you said, I'm a realtor, and I'm like, okay, you're a realtor. And you're like, yeah, I work over in Mesa, right? And we're like exchanging that. Oh, so you like being all the way over in Mesa, right? And you're like, well, no, it's just where my family is, right? Like I mislabeled you. You get to. So his labeling is, it seems like, it feels like, it looks like, never I. Never, ever I. It never goes back to I. Because again, the adversary is the situation. That's my counterpart. This is not an I situation. It's a we situation. It looks like, sounds like, feels like. Okay, so again, I'm not going to, huh?
What do you mean you say never?
Never, I feel like you're, I hear you, none of that. Because what it does is it triggers a response that you're thinking about you and you're not listening to them, okay? So this is one of my favorite things with Chris Voss, and I will send all the stuff out. If you guys know me, you know that I am constantly going. No different with me being a mom and a wife, okay? My husband has just learned to roll with my punches most of the time. But I can get so engrossed into things that I realize that sometimes I cannot be a good listener with my husband, and he means a lot to me. And I appreciate everything. He comes in and he maintenances our office, and he helps me paint the offices, you know, as we work through the remodel. He helps take care of the kids. He's an amazing person, okay? I use Chris Voss's things when I know I'm not listening to my husband to intentionally listen to him because he feels validated and gets to spill all of his stuff out. And I know that I took the time to intentionally listen to him because he deserves that. Okay, it's not a form of manipulation. I use it to communicate with my family better. Okay, I would challenge you guys today to mirror the last 3 words of your partner and your kids and see what they unfold over this next week and report to me. Just those 3 things. Just repeat the last 3 words. Let them unpack. Repeat the last 3 words. Let them unpack and see how much they talk to you. Okay, but I'll send the stuff out for you. We just, by the way, welcome to Rachel's Squirrel. I tend to do that a lot. Any questions about LPT model? Okay. Who knows Denny Grimes? Okay. He's a pretty good scripter. You know, he's got his moments and all the things, right? He's with KW. The one, if I could pull one thing from him, it is the 3 outcomes. That and the homeless seller. Okay. And his negotiating around that. Again, you guys have all the specific details around that if you scan. Make sure I spelled that right. Okay. So when we take the listing, we're dealing with buyers, right? We have 3 outcomes of a listing. Number 1, little to no showings. Okay. Second, little showings. Oh, no offers. Sorry. Look that word in there. And then the property sells, right? Those are the 3 outcomes. Who knows the 4 pain points of listing? I think there's 5. So we'll go with 4.
Price and location.
Aw, see, you're listening, Jason.
Condition.
With price. The 4 keys, pain points of a listing. Okay, price, location, condition.
Market.
Thank you. I'm gonna add another one. Okay, I feel like they've been extra unwilling to do some things like clean a house out, let you take photos, things like that. Okay. So,
What
the
does the last thing
requirement
say? I
unreasonable.
can't read it from here. Oh, okay.
Unreasonable color. Okay, do you want to know location? We can't change that, right? We can't change if it's in a corner on a busy street, out in the boonies. Okay, we can't change location. Can we change condition?
Yeah.
Sometimes? Yes and no,
Yes.
right? Okay. Marketing, can we change that? 100%, we have full 100%, put 50/50. Okay, location, 0. Unreasonable seller,
I'd say sometimes.
I'd say if you did a really good job of setting your expectations and did take someone you couldn't communicate with, then yeah,
So
but yeah, maybe 50/50. Probably conversion, we'll see, expectation thing. Okay. Price. Did we change that? Guess what? Location, price. Condition, we can't change it, price. Marketing is an issue and that's not price. Unreasonable seller, price. Okay, price will always dictate being able to get a listing moving. Okay, always. Who called it race to the bottom? We were talking about something. Who was that? So who's been in a situation where we've listed a house? Someone else drops it. Another one gets dropped. Then we got to drop. Was it you that said the race to the bottom? Yeah, it is you guys. Okay. And it is. It's like a race to the bottom, right? We didn't market it right. Days on market kill us. All the things, right? Price will always change that. Why did I go to that? Because little or no showings. What is it? Price, location, condition, marketing, unreasonable seller, right? Price will always fix it. I'm not saying discount your listing, by the way. I'm just take into consideration, right? We're in a market that we have to paint walls again and make it actual, like, buyer friendly, right? We haven't been there for a hot minute, okay? Little
I always like to say,
showings and yeah, what, Laura?
I always like to say in my listings that you want to be the hamburger. And so I always try to say, like, I usually get comps that show like anywhere between 6 to 10, which I know seems high, but I like to do it in the range so they can see the highest and the lowest. And I always say we want to be right there in the middle. We want to be the hamburgers. You want to bite right in the middle. You don't want the lowest house. What's wrong with that one? You don't want to pay the most for it, but you want to be right in the middle.
I'm making a marketing piece about being the hamburger.
Are you really?
That is probably the most brilliant thing I've heard, Laura. That was awesome. Yes, you want to be the hamburger, right? You don't want to be the one who's pushing out of the pricing too high. And you don't want to be the one that feels like you're taking the neighborhood out. You want to be in the middle. So little showings and no offers, sorry, not showings, offers. Again, price is probably gonna be your thing, or you guys are gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to make some repairs, put more money into marketing. So it's always gonna go back to money, okay? Does anybody disagree that these are your only 3 outcomes of a listing? Okay. In our listing course, we have a seller update at the very end of this mastery course, and I'd love for you guys to participate in that, because we will be talking about building these pieces into our seller update, like all of our reporting, how to pool it, and how to literally become your seller's best friend. Okay, it doesn't matter what lead source, what you're working, but updates and us over communicating is going to be the way that we continue to show our value and show what we're doing. Because who can agree that our sellers or buyers will never know the amount of work that we put into our job, ever. Okay, I've had clients, Crystal, who's made me earn every last penny of my commission.
I hope it's a light.
How many times did you take me out to New River with no chance of? I took her listing, lost it, took me 3 years to get back. She made me earn every penny. No, it was great. But my point being is we will talk about these pieces, right? Because as our market is shifting and commission continues to be part of the conversation, it is our job to over-explain, over-educate, and over-communicate with our clients and our agents. Would you agree? Okay, some of the stuff is to set up for some of my other classes, be aware. Okay. Any questions? What time damn, really? Do we have questions? Come on. What we got? Really? Where is my bean? Where's my chill pill?
Wasn't it between those
What's
first two
your-
right there?
My bad. It should say little showings, no contracts, no offers, no offers. Reach, come on. Someone needs to edit my stuff. We know that.
First one's little showings, no offer.
The first one's, yeah, little to no showings. So do we feel like we're still sitting at 10 showings with a listing? Like, I don't even think we're there. What would be considered a good week? Like a week's worth of showings, guys?
4 to 5, yeah.
4 to 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about half. And our days on market have doubled, so that makes sense.
In different price ranges?
Well, always, I think, right?
Yeah, it's probably about the same. Even the big listings we have, that's about 45. With no paper on them, you know, but
Yeah.
Depends on the area. too.
yeah, it just.
Area, we got a sweet spot as well. We just had them that had 30 showings.
Yeah, what was your price point? Where was it?
It was 350.
There you go, man.
But you get into the million.
Yeah.
now You're talking less than 10. But we still had one at 2.2 million. They got 15
Yeah.
showings. So it's kind of hit or miss sometimes.
I've had a 2 point that we had over 90 people in it, yeah.
You said it's either hit or miss right now.
Yeah.
It's either the property values below 400 are getting a lot, and then luxury, everything in the middle is kind of sitting stagnant.
Correct.
Isn't that funny? Do we remember when like our mobile home thing just went off the rails last year?
Yeah.
Like even Crompert was like mobile homes, like, and we're like, wait, they're like just as expensive as a traditional,
Mhm.
build. So it's kind of crazy, like to see our market kind of.
Right now, that's some of screeching halt,
Yeah, they have, right?
especially if it's 5+ community.
Yeah,
But Red Mountain, that's still hot. People were flipping things. Put 150 and they're selling for 280.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
so
hot.
we're always gonna have our hot pieces,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're like a pocket city. I don't feel like we ever like harmoniously follow a trend
Mhm.
that way. It is little pockets and stuff.
Mhm.
So really what I'm hearing is that our days on market have doubled and our showings have decreased by half. Okay. So how would a seller feel if we jumped in, or a buyer too, right? Hey, this is what's on the market. This is what I'm finding. Sometimes we have our clients that are trying to find weird stuff. Does anyone ever circle prospect to find properties off market for a client that has a really funky?
That's what I just started, and I'm not gonna make it seem like I've been doing.
But you're doing it, you're touching it.
I've been looking for more like creative finance stuff,
Yeah,
trying to find those low equity deals.
yeah, 100%, right? So our buyers need to be getting updates other than MLS and stuff like that. Yes, Liz?
So I do have a question.
Yeah.
Because I have something very, like that. The
Okay.
house that beautiful, 2 years old. A little, it started overpriced, it came down, I still don't have the way price, but I'm frustrated because they're like, it's okay, we don't wanna lower the price, and it's like, what else can I do? So is it marketing?
Okay, so let's talk about that.
And open houses, by the way,
No?
so yeah,
Oh.
and it's a gated community. So it's like,
Okay,
what else do
so
I
let's
do?
talk about some of the facts. Where is it?
It's in Goodyear, Palm Valley. It's a
Okay.
good community.
All right, how many days on market?
Maybe,
Okay, so we're sitting at 3 months.
and maybe, actually, it's in 90 days.
Okay, that's a
Now,
price
it-
issue all day long, without question.
Um,
Okay, so my next question to you is, what are the neighborhood days on market?
That is slow, everything is moving slow.
But like where, like,
And
if we're sitting at 90, is it 120? Is it about at 90?
I'm not sure really, because actually when I took the listing, there was like one more active.
And how many, okay, so now how many, you have?
There were like 4 or 5.
Okay.
And when I looked the other day, the other 2 were just sitting there. The only thing is, it's a single family home, but it has one wall attached.
Okay, so it shares a common wall,
So I. think
like
that
a
might
more of a
be-
duplex type of feel.
Mm,
Do we have new builds going up around it?
No, I think the community is finished.
Okay. But they're sitting at 2 years, okay? So then my next question is a whole community sitting at 2 years? It's like that new of a community?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all from there.
Now, what else is around it? Do we have older communities?
So
What do
you
we
have the section where is, they're attached by one wall, and then they have a master plan with the golf course and just single detached family.
An
Okay.
adult community?
So we have
Mhm.
golf course. Yeah, so we've gated golf course.
So they
Any
don't
age
belong to the
limitations?
golf course, but the next community
Mhm.
is the golf course.
Okay. So, and your price point is where?
525.
Okay, 525, still good. What have you done?
Beautiful pictures, real tour.
So photos,
I did on 1 open houses.
okay, so no opens.
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him to do one, but he's, he was gone, and I thought, you're gone, I can do an open house with somebody. Oh, no, let me.
Is he motivated to sell?
Was that?
Is he motivated to sell?
See, they purchased the property in California, so they didn't need the money to purchase it. I don't think that they will want to rent it because they're very particular. So, I mean, every time I try to find out why do you want to sell, it's just like blurry, like I don't ever get, and they're friends and they're dear friends, but I just frustrated with it.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
okay.
feel like, what else do I do?
So my question is have you gone into the MLS and have you reverse prospect your agents that have, their clients have viewed your listing?
No,
Okay,
I don't know what to do.
that
actually.
is an option. Have you pulled a CP list to be able to call the surrounding neighbors to see if anyone else knows anyone who wants to live in the neighborhood?
Circle perspective.
Yeah, circle prospecting. Mhm. Have you done any social hitting? Have you hit your database? Have you door knocked? Have you hit your business to businesses around to see if there's anybody else that wants to move into the community?
Mhm.
There's 5.
I don't know that I have a whole lot of time to do them all.
What office are you at?
Hmm?
Which office are you at?
Yeah,
Megan's?
yeah.
Okay. We will get Megan to sit down with you and we'll get you
Yeah.
all
okay.
wrapped up, but that's 5 things without even diving into it, girl.
Okay.
Okay, you're missing
Awesome.
a lot of opportunity there to duplicate your business. Okay,
Okay.
yes.
I just want to kind of piggyback off
Yeah.
of that. We're seeing a lot, especially from a new build standpoint. They go in there, they buy something for 400,000. They put the minimum down, let's say 3.5% and
Yep.
so forth. And in 2 years, they want to make 250,000.
Yeah,
Right? So
we're not in that market.
we're not in that market. They sit there and overprice the property. If you buy it at 200,000, if you can walk away with 75,000, don't put greed into it, run away.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that I think a lot of sellers think that because the market is hot in Arizona, that their new build is going up.
So do you know
50%.
why that happened? What you're talking about?
Because they don't have enough equity in the property.
Correct, but why would they be considering moving when they just bought a new build, right? When we have someone go into a new build, I know I always tell, if you don't plan on staying here for 10 years, You're not making
not
nothing
making money.
from it. It is not like a traditional build. It doesn't run that same way. It almost has to build equity, like, you know what I mean? Okay, but
But to them, it's comfort. To them, it's like they're a modernized flip and kind of like
yeah,
fix and flip. So, hey, let me buy into the community at a low price and
Yeah.
then sell in a couple of years and make a couple
that's,
hundred.
yeah, if you want to go
that's their
into
way
a
of-
whole different type of
Yeah.
house. But 2 years ago, what did we have? Yeah, we had a crazy market. I mean, like, right before that, we were like literally giving our first and second born in lotteries just to get a house because the inventory was so low, right? So we're still seeing a lot of those homeowners start to or they want to flip it and they think they're gonna make so much because we had 2 years of a market that was probably never gonna be attainable again, right? Why else is that happening? Anyone else?
It's kind of funny, but like, social media has kind of made real estate investing a trend, so everybody thinks that they.
Thank you. So we have disruptors and influencing happening on such a subliminal like platform between our social and our other stuff and the way that we communicate. We've failed as agents because we got so busy with the crazy market and then we just kind of were like, why is business going? And we kind of like knolled around for the last couple of years, right? Our clients are getting all that information from somewhere else. They are not getting it from us, guys. Okay? So we have to combat that. Okay, it is our job to educate them, right? So we're sitting in this place where sellers and buyers think that we're essentially worthless to the transaction. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you guys, when you guys are taking these listings, do your research. If you've got new builds or it's a new community like that, and that turnover, good evening, or if you're new, Hayden, know your market, know your days on market, what's happening. And if you guys need help soliciting your stuff, let me know. Mr. Charles.
The reason why that's not working buying the property, new build, if they turn around flipping it, is because the buyer's buying it at market value.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You have to
They
build
buy
that
right.
equity. It takes time to build it.
First, always that's when you.
Not to mention that the builders still building, they're offering a lot of incentives, like our past 5 or 6 deals have been new builds. And it's because it's an affordability price, they're offering 3.9.
Yeah, and they're keeping things here and not allowing things to do this. Okay, we're also in a huge new home shortage too. So it's even crazier. We're constantly competing with them, especially if we have traditional. I love that, Charles. You're absolutely 100% right.
I have the same problem with that, but I don't have a lack of showings. This property, I think it's more showings.
Is this a Goodyear one?
Is that what?
Is this a Goodyear one that
Yeah.
you've done all the opens on?
It gets,
You
you
get
know,
showings for no offers?
5 to 10 showings. It's just, the house is just a monster. It's 5,000 square feet with a basement, backs up to the golf course, Long Valley Golf Course. I mean,
Something, there's condition, location, price, there's something in there, dude.
it's dated. And
Okay, there
once-
you go.
But once you have to update a 5,000 square foot home, but I know I'm priced.
Are you priced right to where the market is? Or are you priced right, like where your neighborhood is? Or are you priced
Well,
right to the condition of that home, James? Because I know this home and I know the feedback on it. So I'm
Quiet with rates.
I'm just saying.
I ignore the rates, I really do, because I get my head wrapped around those rates.
you
But
always
I
have to
agree.
consider them. It's always part of the consideration level. You're literally married to Alona. I know this all the time. You have your expert right there.
Ignore the rates.
Mark,
I've got a listing in Whitman. It's 625 for a 1,900 square foot house on an acre of land with horse
Yep.
facilities in the back, okay? There are new homes in the area that are going for $25,000 less for a new home, but it's at nothing on the property.
don't matter.
And so that's my competition.
That's your competition,
And
but
so-
you guys are saturated in Whitman right
And
now.
I'm talking to the seller like, hey, you've been on the market over 2 years at this point with other realtors, okay? At this point, you've been on over 2 years. How long are we going to continue this? What's important to you about this price? And you said you wanted to get towards your kids. How important is that to you? How much is it gonna cost you to wait? You can't get time back. So how much is it gonna cost you to wait? And so now I'm doing we did a evaluation on the property and we did a net sheet showing what would be at this price point compared to where we're at now. And he's gonna come out $20,000 less than what he wanted, but that's something he's gotta decide.
So-
or not.
Do the same for where your neighborhood is trending. You can find those numbers. You can do the math and find where it's trending, right? Keep that, go back to the pain point. The longer we wait to lower, we're gonna lose this versus 5 grand. 20 grand versus 5 grand? Think about that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just need to understand if they don't understand. Their job is not to be the expert. It's ours. We have to provide all that. Okay, so we're gonna do our 15-minute break if no one has any more questions, although I do love questions and interaction. Okay,
Well, I got a listing.
I'll
Sorry.
put this. Are we good online?
Well, quick question, because everybody's talking about listing. I got a listing that's been sitting on the market for about 46 days. I've been talking to Alex a lot, so he's been helping. But I'm trying to get more input on it. So it's been 46 days, and I'm about to have my 10th showing on Friday. I'm just
How many days
struggling
again?
because 46 days. It's in Eastmark. So it's in Eastmark. It's on 46 days. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Eastmark, but it's a 4-bedroom, 2,444 square foot. And we're the second lowest price 4-bedroom with a pool. At that square
And
footage.
how many listings do you guys have in that area right now?
Say it again.
How many listings altogether do you guys have?
So there's 8 active.
Yeah. Because you said it's you're the second from lowest. How many other listings are in that neighborhood?
Are we talking about comparative or in total?
Just active. Nope. I just want to know how many are being sold in your that
73.
neighborhood? 73.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying you're second from lowest and there's an inventory in your current subdivision of 73 homes. Yeah, if you saw all the wows in the room, hun. So you're against a pretty big obstacle. My next question to you, you can know the answer, not know it. I hope you look it up on the MLS when we're done. Is do you know what bed and bath and square footage is selling the fastest in that neighborhood currently?
No, I'm a newer agent, so.
Okay, so awesome. I love it. My dear, come in, let's talk. Okay, so I would find that out, dude, because on top of that, how does my listing compare to the ones that are actually moving, right? Because then I would look at that, like, am I within the ballpark of, okay, so 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500, well, 2,000 square feet's moving the fastest in this neighborhood. How do I compare to that? Okay, now let's look at condition and what's actually selling and closing, because 73 would probably, I don't know, what would you say? We're probably closing like 3, 5 a week, I would hope, in there, maybe, I don't know. We need to find that out. You have my emails, we're gonna schedule some time. So he's saturated. Thoughts? 73 listings. He is second from bottom. Go.
I would say regardless of the price, the concern is location.
Location.
Well,
Okay.
real quick, when I say I'm second from bottom, I'm basing it off of
In one place and not move and still be
Yeah.
the second last, lowest house and it
Yeah.
not be sold. There might be a location thing.
There's a location thing. I would agree. Okay.
It's our condition.
Or conditions. Restate what you said online, sweetheart.
So I may have explained it incorrectly. When I say I'm second from bottom, I mean out of the 8 listings that are a 4-bedroom with a pool, as well as the square footage, not out of the whole 73.
Where do you rank in that?
Where do I rank in the whole 73? I haven't checked. We're at 710,000.
All right, tough price point too, because we're above 5, under like $1 million and, $1 million too, because those are kind of our running things.
Right.
Okay, any other thoughts from the crowd? Rosanna?
My thought is he needs to have better marketing than the other 73
Yep.
houses.
I'm gonna go to, yeah, we either have some updating issues that might need to be addressed. We have some conditional issues. It could be pricing compared to what's actually happening with the trending within the neighborhood. And absolutely marketing. Okay, guys, raise the hands. Who was here before COVID? And it's okay if you guys are newer. Raise hands, yes, okay, about half of us, okay? Before COVID, when we got a listing, how many of us took it for 6 months to a year? If we sold it in 6 months, we're like, what? Okay, no, we were like so excited, man. We were like killing it, man. I might hit $1 million agent this year because I sold like 13 because the price points were so low back then, okay? The reason why I'm saying this, okay, now I need it, this is all the respect in the world, so I need all my hands. I wish I had multiples. Okay, who came in right before COVID and after? Raise the hands. Right before COVID and after. Okay, okay, so we're gonna split. Okay. When you guys came into this market, our market in 2019 was still pretty good. I feel like we were really finally recovering from 2008. We were really stabling out, right? Like if we were an agent, we had enough business, you know what I mean? We could take some time off and spend with our family and we didn't lose momentum, like we could pick back up. We also didn't have a couple things. We didn't have the disruptors like we did. Okay, we didn't have the craziness of, I don't know, an interest rate under 2 in some weird places. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. We didn't have a lot of things, right? When you guys came in and when COVID hit, we didn't slow down as a market across the whole country. Okay, what ended up happening was everybody's stuck in their house and everybody's like, well, this doesn't work for me. I don't need to work in the city. I can live remote now. You know what I mean? Like we had a lot of these different changes. Do you know what it forced you new agents to do? Essentially be top producers. Think about it. They were handling multiple deals. They were throwing out appraisal waivers, like they were dispensing little Pez things, like things that we didn't even use at a high level. Do you know what they didn't learn that whole amazing 2 years? They did not learn how to be a sales agent. You guys learned how to be an amazing transactional agent. And I applaud you because you guys taught us a lot of new things as being a tenured or veteran agent, okay? But guys, our job is to be a sales agent. We should be taking a listing and duplicating it and getting at least 2 listings and a buy at least from it. Those ratios could have changed a little bit. We have to solicit. Our job is to get our listing and as many buyers in front of our listing, correct? Okay. We have a lot of disruptors and we're against a lot of things. And yes, I have built ISA companies. That is a huge disruptor. They're saturating the market and taking our market share of conversations. I get, I participated in that. I am sorry. Okay, but 72 sold. What is it? 990. Okay, hedge funds, iBuyers. You know what I mean? This program, this program. I don't care. I give 2 shits, guys. Your job is to go out there and build those relationships and be the experts and to love our clients and do the things, right? And that means we need to take all the tools at our disposal. But I raise the hands. How many of you know what's actually in your tool belt? You use yours pretty good. I'm gonna tell you, y'all don't. I love you. We have so many things at our disposal because of what's happened. We need to jump into that. Okay. So if you guys need help, please call me. I will sit down and work on your business any day of the week. You know me. Okay. 15 minutes. I'm going to put the thing. Stretch your legs, please, because you guys gotta be ready. I see your face. Okay. Know your objection. Get some food, tinkle, stretch, whatever it is that you need to do. Everybody online. I'll put a timer up.
I love this. I have a 14-year-old granddaughter that read Boston's book.
Oh yeah.
And she came away and she manipulated her guidance counselor so she could be in her friend's classes throughout the whole year.
Did she?
And this coming year, she's got it set that her first period will and she will graduate. She will.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. it's used for so many different things, like we,
She's just.
You got 600 or gold five.
Try to get it under six. Someone's looking for a house. They're not gonna say I want it.
710, I think he said, yeah, if I remember.
Gilbert buyers were considering Eastmore, but that's too high.
Oh, you're right. There's too many new houses being built out there and unfortunately.
Scan the QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not over right now.
Oh, especially they got the setup.
Oh, were you hoping you think so?
Yeah.
Trying to keep it going. Trying to keep it going.
Kids, the picture, down in the Avondale.
Honestly, man, it's been so. Those parts of the- so, it's not-
Oh, you're both buyers? Yeah.
For this, you know.
Four six. For neutral.
Yeah, one. I got maybe. But I just kind of
Rachel?
slow down, so I'll kind of rebuild that by myself.
Might have to go. And restart.
Yeah.
And then buy some.
Oh, wow.
I didn't, I mean, I just wrote it up, so I have it. You're ready to your thing.
Well, yeah, add it, include it. Well,
You know, it's one now.
Did you?
Yeah, they're.
Oh, like the clip that. Actually. Oh, I like this. You
You can have my kids here too, because there's like.
So that was like. Okay, that was a designer. Yeah, I didn't get anything. Oh my God.
Well, I have like that night. You want to go at top of the first man. I'm like, I'm pick up. I used to man, so what I've been doing is I've been fun. One, like, yes, but I've been like a smart plan and stuff that I don't like any Apple product into, a lot of people use that on the information. Yeah, I got like, over, name, all the details of the conversation, whatever it is. And then at the end of my call session, I'm trying to get them over Instagram and then you look at the smart plan. That's where, you know, like full product. So but I'm not, I need to be better at world. You know, they have, I get following the supply company, I'll put them on the way, because we're gonna, I'm so proud of it. For $100 I mean, so like, oh, it's $900, like, I can't even believe it, so I was like, anything, so I'm putting it at 100 up to 900. And I've lost a couple, I actually had, I asked, I've called back when I lost the list. Now, I even had, oh, well, for my growth, what was it that? Well, and it's not like a big version. The full they're pushing, one, what happened, I almost, we actually like a boom at point. They did not give me information. Like, they bought, I couldn't now got that addition to. I got a text from my page today, you bring the gift card, for me, and I bought the gift card, like, oh my gift card, I got the gift card, before you talk, they see what you was like, so, I bought the gift card, and he can't return, so nobody has any information but me, so that's, and I follow up, they're still doing it. But, yeah, like, so listing presentation, I got 9 of them, so if you get one away, people are happy, nowadays, everybody just, you know, stuck behind a phone. You know what I mean? They're stuck behind a phone, because a lot of people don't, are scared to either end, you know, this is the old job or that at least breaks. That's what I want to do, I'm like, oh, no, wait a minute, they did that after I called, I go separate myself from the cold. No, and yeah, once you get the stuff that I'm trying to implement, and like 30 seconds ago about the system. The follow-up system, and I've been watching a lot of these, cooking videos, like how to do shit, like, watch like hotel, and you know, it's like, they probably are gonna go like Netflix and not. Well, no, I don't have them. $900,
I know, but
not
it's
looking
right.
Yeah, you have anything, putting up the chores, like, the stress, and a little bit.
You're the first I know that. Yeah, black into
Like I said, my broker told me, I thought it was very texting for a while. And then when I got her number, it wasn't a number, but I didn't catch it until after I checked. And then I took up the phone and I dialed her number. Back when I was having for I was speed dial.
Together with the.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And then they started texting back, calling back, like, hey, can I get you next week? And I just won.
Yeah, that is. But they are doing. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm getting Apple Milk, because they're having that part right, so I don't need to wear an Apple not heard though. I don't get on that. You can know that they got it on the for next year. But, I said, what I've been looking for is very competitive. I'm trying to be 500K and below. Like, they're not over 500 now and stuff. I'm trying to get that, but.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's the only thing I got, but I was.
They take me like down, like a partner or. So you bet this all very, very unique and that really do right there. Man. Oh my God. Lots of fun.
Right? When the door right here, interior has a orbit in this over. And I didn't know this.
They're willing to go lower than we make it, it's like.
I got
Not even kidding. Hard to know. They really were looking like.
Get this, see that right there, you know, that's the doorway. This is the doorway. Right. Okay, what? That.
Yeah, I'm going outside.
That's their default for the bottom, hopefully they're not. Right? Okay, now wait, it's not instant.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
That's what it is.
Couple and no, and I don't know.
Is it one flip? It's like, I got it.
And then, I mean, I'm telling you,
Go out and tailor something, we have
right now the door closes,
So it's like, oh, you stuck one up and give this thing, I wanted like 4 feet on there, but I don't know. No 55. So I need more like TLC work just so it's running. So, but that's just a matter of, you know, soccer related.
oh, I just. And, so then you just look at.
Not next week, it's not the hard money, even though we got this week, most days right now, I think like.
And, there's a. Oh, you like walk down and, yeah, I just saw it. Going like this, you look at the resident, you're like, what happened?
Yeah, but those two things, let's try to decide. So, let's get important, but we're actually putting it. You I've been very like, thinking about what we're looking for, putting that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to keep the business. I started my heart, like, property. Like, if he's one of the 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I think he thinks, oh, I can vote that.
Probably good.
Yeah. Like, I wonder when that off when the second. Like, I've kind of gotten the rest, and I was like, working on this.
I've been.
I get distracted with this, this, my mind, I need this, you know, I need to listen. Stop holding clothes. Yeah, it's a little late for now, starts dusting. Yeah. You know, yeah, that's kind of how I was. Every day, well, I mean, that's, Friday and Saturday, I was. Oh, no, this guy.
They're the closed message.
When the rod has the ball, like.
What a game last night, huh?
Out of my block, was supposedly the best player.
And then he was crying. What was that, BJ?
They were told, I would be really lost money, but it's that. I can't really my home. And there's gonna be a town of them. So they get the Thanks to you. It's like one last. All my tools are YouTube University.
You got bigger than 26.
I know it's gonna be going up. I need to go and walk through.
I got.
Oh my God.
I'll get to the first one back.
Dallas. Dallas. You,
I also.
But especially
It
just took away like.
It's only 7 miles up. My brother lived this way.
No, I just want to go. So I took a couple of nerves. But I just put stuff in the computer and then I put down the med and it's still.
There you go. That's fun. Great. So then
You can find her.
Yeah.
And then
Some people.
There's still a minute left.
When I'm in the concert.
I can hold it.
That sounds right. Life is life.
Are we ready? We're ready for rumble.
You know, you trademark that thing. You're not allowed to do this.
All right, guys. So,
Are y'all ready for this?
right? Okay,
Go.
are we ready? Do we have our objections in hand? Okay. We are going to bring Mr. Alex and Erica. We're gonna give them a hot minute. Okay, I want you to really listen. They're up here for a reason. Everything that we are doing in this brokerage and in Glendale, guys, right now is to literally feed back and give you guys options to be able to do things. If that doesn't work for you, we've got other things. If we don't have it, we'll build it. It's amazing. Okay, that's a cool world of KW that we live in. So, without further ado, our very first is Mr. Alex Pajaro. So I want to do like huge round. Okay, like up in the air, like
Yeah, that's all. All right, can I get your guys' permission? Can we do just one quick like housekeeping thing? Want to share something with you guys? Okay, so.
No.
Yeah, thank you. Right.
You don't know.
Or right back. So tomorrow, some of you might know this, some of you may not, but tomorrow there is a big event that our region, right? If you don't know, if you're with KW, we're in the Southwest region. They're putting on an event tomorrow. And I don't know about you guys. I just think about, you know, Keller Williams puts on events and then we got to buy a plane ticket and pay for hotels and buy that $1,000 ticket and head out of state and make plans for people to watch our kids and so forth. But the region is putting on an event and they are doing it here in Chandler, meaning in town. Okay. So that event tomorrow, it's a Spring Desert Summit. Okay. They have 13 of the top people in our entire region on the panel at this event over the next 2 days. Okay. Now, they also are bringing in like top KW executives, like our president of growth, John Clyde. They have our face of technology, Donnie Brookman. It's going to be a really awesome event. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I know they're not in the room right now, but for example, we actually have Rebecca Durfee and Spiro Pagos are both on that panel over the next couple of days as well. So those are our agents. One at Professional Partners, one here at Northeast, right? Those of you that raise your hand if Rebecca Durfee's name doesn't mean anything to you. It's okay if it does. It's not like I had to meet her when we got the market center. Okay, so like 1.5 million in gross commission income as an individual agent.
with like one admin.
A little bit, right? I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's killer as an individual agent. So they got some top people that are going to be speaking there. Reason I bring that up is we have, because of this guy right here next to me, awesome partner, he said, hey, let me support. And I have a program that these agents should hear about, which you will hear about. And as a result of that program, I'll make a deal. If they talk to me about it, like, we'll get him a ticket to that event. Okay? And the reason that's a big deal is because the tickets are like $150 of this thing tomorrow. Okay? Raise your hand if you want to spend $150 tomorrow. Just, all right, all right. Pay your office rent, okay? All right, so here's the deal, okay? At the end of this, Eric's gonna give out his phone number, okay? If you schedule a time to talk to him tonight, sorry, Eric. Yeah, he'll be going to bed at 8 o'clock tonight. If you give him a call to expand on what he's about to share with you, then we will get you I was told by the region, submit all names by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, that way you show up, and because the event's at 9 in Chandler. Okay, all day tomorrow, 9 to 4, 9 to 5, right? 9 to 4, and then it's like 9 to 1 the day after. Okay, so if you want a free ticket to the event, so you can go and better your best like you are today, that's all it is. Okay, sound good? All right, floor is yours, sir.
Okay, before.
Yeah, jump on it.
Okay, I'm really critical. I am of our vendors and like really vet them hard. Do I not, Mr. David and Eric? And y'all know me, I have a rule, you use them, you use them. If not, shouldn't use them, okay? I had the pleasure, 3 hours you spent in my office, getting to know about him and his family and vice versa and stuff like that. So again, he's got something pretty cool. Did not get my flyer with the leads signage? Okay, cool. I will come around. He is, I want you to tell him the data sources.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do want you, if what he has is not like, there's a ton of other stuff. There's a lot of things that we're gonna do in partnership, and he's been really fun to work with so far. Just like some of our other partners. So, again, this would be our second, guys. So what are we gonna do? We're going to
Figure
round
out.
of applause. Get those hands out. Thank you.
So real quick, let me talk about those. They use the term leads. I want to be very clear. They're not actual leads. I don't believe in leads because they have the same percentage of closing as cold calling. Does everyone know that? What percentage of Zillow leads close? 2 to 3%. What percentage of cold calling closes? 2 to 3%. The reason why Zillow leads don't close any higher is because there is nothing other than somebody said, please call me and I'll spend some money. Wouldn't you rather call people that you know are at least credit qualified?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I have. I bought 40,000 names in Maricopa County. Here's the criteria. They have at least 5 years of credit. They have at least $25,000 in available credit with no more than 35% usage, with no bankruptcies, no foreclosures, and most importantly, no mortgage. What does that make them? Renters. Other than I will say I screwed up when I bought the list. I forgot to put like an age limit on it. So every once in a while you may find someone who they just own their home free and clear. So it's a cold call to people credit qualified to buy a house.
They build this information out via survey.
No.
They put in all their own.
As a banker, I can buy data. I can go directly to Experian and say, here's my list. And I'll say, I want this many names. I need name or cell phone numbers, email addresses, and it needs to be scrubbed against the do not call list. That's what I have had down. So it is cold calling. I will script you guys on how to make the cold calls, but at least you're talking to somebody that can credit qualify. Right? That's why the Zillow leads aren't as valuable. You might get 10% of Zillow leads who say yes to you over the phone, but then 90% don't qualify. We're eliminating the heartache of, oh, go and talk to my lender, and then you find out that they have a 540 FICO score, but they thought they had a 750. Right? These people will credit qualify, not income, which income is its own problem today, but they will credit qualify. So I have 40,000 names. Everybody who's in attendance that fills out today, you'll get 10. If you report back to me on how they went and you're successful, I will continue to feed you. So it's up to you. You can call as many people as you want, and we'll talk about different ways to increase those spending. Does anyone know how well telemarketers convert when they're calling? Like, how many guys still take telemarketing calls today?
I take.
Do you know what percentage they convert at? Most of them,
Probably less than real.
it's actually higher.
Really?
Yeah, so my background, when I was at ASU, I ran a company called Dial America Marketing. Anybody else ever worked there? Now, if you ever need an inside sales agent, they still have 6 offices here in Arizona, which means there's probably around 8,000 employees over there. And these people are selling crap nobody wants. I ran the books and entertainment division. How many of you guys like to join book clubs? No, nobody does. But following a script, we would get 10% of people to say yes. 10% of people would say yes to something they didn't want. Does everybody want to have the American dream and own a home? Of course they do. All you gotta do today is say, do you have a dog and can't find a landlord who will let you keep it? Do y'all magically go and get the service animal so they can't tell you, no, you can't move in? Right, you know that's a scam these days, right? Everyone's got a service animal because I don't feel, I have anxiety and only the dog can take my anxiety away.
I
Maybe
saw
the
a
cat.
service pony.
What's that?
I saw a service
A
pony.
service pony?
On an airplane.
Shut up. On an
Southwest
airplane?
Airlines, it was a miniature pony.
Wow. So anyway, that's the data. I'm gonna do a brief pitch on the program that if you call me, we're gonna talk about if you want to go to this event tomorrow. How many of you guys are worried about what's going on with NAR? Or more importantly, how many of you guys are worried about fintech companies? If you're not, you're crazy. Does anyone know why Open Door, OfferPad, and Zillow iBuyer started in Arizona?
Because this is the testing grounds.
Why is it testing grounds?
It seems like the whole nation follows Arizona. I don't know why it does that, but
Because we had an idiot politician that we elected years ago that created a rule called the Safe Harbor Sandbox Rule. You guys read up on this? It says if you're attempting to disrupt an industry using technology to make it better, faster, cheaper, whatever, that in order to prove your theory, you have to have some guinea pigs. And in the state of Arizona, if that's what you're doing, you don't have to follow any regulation whatsoever. You guys know that? How many were pissed off when you'd see the things that are Open Door would say, real estate commission is 6%, it's way too high? What did they average?
13.
It was 12. And that was after they paid you.
Mhm.
They still averaged 12% coming into them. But they didn't get in trouble. Why? Because they are trying to disrupt an industry. So in Arizona, they don't have to follow any rules. Don't believe me, just Google Arizona Safe Harbor Sandbox Rule. And when you read it, you will be pissed off and you'll want to kill this guy. By the way, he currently works for the CFPB and he's attempting to make this a nationwide law that you can disrupt. So I personally can't stand any fintech companies. That's why we created this next program. So the program we do is to help you guys.
Fintech is iBuyers.
It could be anything. Fintech could be, so when you're talking about publicly traded companies, if you're a regular company, you trade at a 3 to 4 multiple. Fintech trades at 25 multiples because they claim they're going to come in and disrupt and make it to where an individual person is not needed anymore. How far did Open Door take it in Arizona? Did you guys know how far they pushed it before they started crashing? Do you know that if you use their mortgage company, they give you a key fob? Go look at any of their houses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't need an agent. Well, that's how far they pushed it here. Thankfully, they had a little market switch up and they lost hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why you're not seeing them as active right now. Thankfully, right now, Open Door and OfferPad are both on the verge of bankruptcy. Or there's a group in town that is looking to finance them to pull them back out and get them started again. So you're only seeing them quiet for that. Zillow is sitting the sidelines because what got them in trouble? They thought their algorithm worked. And they took their own advice. Oh, this house is worth $1.5 million. They would buy it and it would sell for $1 million. They lost it, so they got to figure out their algorithm and get it fixed. But will they eventually get it fixed? Maybe. Of course, they got billions of dollars behind them. They will eventually figure it out. Now, not for every house, but for enough houses that they can cause a problem. So how do we fight a fintech company? What's the only thing that a fintech company has over each and every one of you? Money. And they spend their money doing what?
Like pretending to build a relationship.
Advertising. How many of you guys right now have already a budget that you're spending money on to market and advertise and bring business to yourself?
Alex, this game.
Really? Can I get-
So that's what I want to bring you guys in to do. So I work at a company called Goldwater Bank. The reason I align myself with Goldwater is because they're an FDIC. previously, and I always like to be fully transparent. So you guys may have heard of my past company and you either love it or hate it, but I was the founder and owner of AmeriFirst Financial. Right up until a company by the name of Reverence Capital Partners out of New York. I made the mistake of doing a deal with a hedge fund and they stole my company. They stole $30 million from me and then they turned around and filed bankruptcy to protect themselves from me.
Hey, way to bounce back. 30 million about easy.
So money's easy to be made. That's one of the biggest fallacies that's out there. You can make money whenever you want. 30 million hurt, I'll have it back within 3 years, guaranteed. It's money's easy to be made. It's how hard are you willing to work? So at an FDIC level, I'm going to make your job easier. What does every real estate brokerage do to survive in today's world? Vendors, MSAs. How would you like your own personal? Takes 3 minutes of your time. 3 minutes of your time, you go online, you have to get what's called a unique identifier number with the NMLS. With that and a background check with Goldwater Bank, and you are automatically licensed, you can do loans in 48 states. Now, I don't want you to do loans. I just want to be able to pay you because I want you to take my money and spend it on marketing. Because if I can get all of you spending money on marketing and you start fighting the fintech companies, who's going to leave the industry? Fintech. For out of curiosity, how many of you guys know how much, and this is a nationwide average statistic, how much money when it goes to a fintech company leaves your local community every time a house is sold?
Probably not.
Give me a dollar amount.
200K, I don't.
Not too far off. $87,000 is what leaves your community every time it goes to somebody who's not in your community. That's real estate agent commission, mortgage commission, title commission. That's your appraisers, your home inspectors, your handymen, your flooring, your roofers. Everybody misses out because all these fintech companies, they open all those companies and they kick everybody out. 87,000 is what you lose out of the local community when you lose a customer to them. So you get licensed. You have 3 jobs to receive compensation. The one that I know everyone hates is you have to do CE hours. There's a total of 8 hours. Now, what's different between banking and real estate? When you guys do your CE hours, are they timed?
Yeah, some of them can be.
Yeah, mine aren't. Click through as fast as you want. If you want to learn all this stuff, go ahead. It's 8 hours. But you can click through as fast as you want. When you get to the end, there's always a what? Test?
Test, take the test again.
So keep a pen and paper handy. Don't even read the question. Just click A. If it's not A, it'll say it was B. Write it down. Because when you fail the test, you go back, it's the exact same test, exact same order, even the answers are in the exact same order. You don't have to do it. So it's about as easy as I can make, but even doing that, it's a half hour of your time.
You're giving away my CE hours, man. Come on.
Now, if you want to learn, feel free to do it. So if you do that, then we can hire you at the bank. Now your next job. Right now, you guys are used to handing out business cards. Now you are your own business card. You send them your link. They fill out the application online. When they fill out the application online, it's going to email you. It's going to email me. I take it from there. You will be the loan officer of record. So there is a dual licensing disclosure that we have to give the customers. But we do all the work. I don't want you focused on mortgage. I want you selling more real estate. Loan closes. You get a 0.5% commission of the loan amount up to a maximum of $2,500. So you do a $500,000 loan, $2,500. Do $1 million loan, $2,500. And what our hope is, I say hope because I cannot force you to do anything with this money. It's your money. My hope is you'll reinvest it, put it back into marketing, go get another real estate deal. What's more valuable, 0.5% mortgage commission or 2.5% real estate commission? Real estate, it's worth more. Now it's going to become how often can you rotate that money?
What should I ask you that I hadn't asked?
How would you market? That's what you should be asking me.
Let's say pay-per-click, PPC. Oh, well, that's what I should.
How would you market?
So I have a program. It's extremely unique. Very few people know about it because you have to be at an FDIC lender to have it. And only 14 of us signed up for it in the entire nation. It's called the WISH program. How many of you guys have heard of it?
No.
What is it called again?
WISH.
Wish program.
Tell them about that, guys. Hold on.
Hold on. Is it too much? You want to go and do it first?
I would like to pocket people.
Okay. But I kind of already opened my mouth. Now I got to tell them. Did you know that there's a grant from the Federal Land Bank that will match your customers dollar for every dollar they put down, they'll give them $4 more. up to $30,800. So if you, how many of you have had someone in the last year say, I'm going to wait until rates come down before I buy?
All of them.
Which is, by the way, the absolute stupidest response anybody could, and I'm sure that's out there, so I'll save that presentation for later.
Thank you.
But what's gonna cost you more? Because in the Wish program, they run out of funds. It's not around forever. We just got a new allocation. We have 13 million. When it's out, it's out. We won't get another allocation until next March or April.
They don't have unlimited $38,000.
Yeah. So whatever you think that you would pay more in interest, you'll lose if you lose out on this opportunity for 30,800, which, by the way, this month we're getting the new allocation for the Wish MDPA. It's all MDPA is only available in Arizona, California, and Nevada, and that one goes up to 50,000 free money. Can you get people off the fence with giving them 30,800? If your answer is no, then you don't have to sell. Because how much money do you have to earn to save 30,800? About 50 grand. So it's like an employer coming to you and giving you $50,000. Just doesn't happen. Now, it is a first-time home buyer program only. When I market it, the amazing thing that I find, I don't get the calls from the first-time home buyers. I get the calls from the parents, which is who you want to get to know, because the parents are potential move-ups, they're potential listings, right? But you got in the door because their kid, I'll share an experience happened this morning. I have a good friend in Pennsylvania. His name is Jay Morderski. Jay is in the mortgage business. And him and I were talking, just following up this morning. I told him about the Wish program. He's now sending his own son to me to get his loan. He's in the business. He's sending me his son because he doesn't have Wish. He can't give him his son 30,800. So it makes the phone ring because people don't believe it. Like, you're going to literally give me 30,800. Yeah.
Is this, Eric, is this for like first-time home buyers?
First-time home buyers only. And your max income is 80% of the AMI based off of how many people live in the household. Those are your two qualifiers.
First-time home buyer does it mean?
Haven't owned a home in the last 3 years.
Do they have?
So it's a 5-year, you don't pay any interest, no payments. After 5 years, it's 100% forgiven, but it's prorated. So if they sell it in 3, they only pay the last 2-year proration portion that they don't get credit.
If they hang on to it for 5 years, they keep.
It's free. Even if they didn't, here's some positives. You never paid interest on 30,800. This is the way to help, you know, if you get these first time home buyers where they can't quite afford what they need to afford. At a bare minimum, it's an extra 30,000 they can afford. But you also, because like say they were going FHA, they were putting 3% down, it's a $400,000 house. They put in their 12, I add 30. They didn't put in 3.5% down anymore. Now they're putting down 7.5 to 10%. So we're going conventional now. We're going home ready, which is a cheaper interest rate, and they're gonna have lower mortgage insurance because their loan to value is so much lower. Now they qualify, instead of going for 400, they might be able to qualify for 450. Much easier to find them a house. Doesn't matter what kind of loan. It could be FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. It's not program specific, which also means what happens with most down payment assistance loans?
Rate goes up.
Yeah, rates up. This isn't. This is a grant from the Federal Land Bank. So they are agnostic as to what kind of loan the first mortgage is. They don't care. If they want to refinance, they don't care. Good, refinance it. It's free money. That's how I market.
And the benefit is a tax write-off?
It's not even a tax write-off. It's pretty much, they're not taxed on the money.
I'm saying, how does that work financially?
So the Federal Land Bank, so they are under pressure from the federal government to put money out to the lower income, which is why it's an 80% AMI. And the goal is to get more CRA loans. Does everyone know what CRA loans are? So there's a federal law called the Community Reinvestment Act. And if you don't put money into those areas, banks get fined majorly. So they created this to help banks lend money into the areas that they should be lending money to.
The buyers still need their down payment.
They do, but it can be a gift. So they have 3,000 of their own. Mom and dad are going to give them the other 5,000. Perfect. Then we'll give them, for every dollar they put down, it's a 4 to 1.
Does the bank look at that with no PMI?
Depending on what the loan to value is, yes. Right. So let's say, for example, you're buying a $300,000 house, which I know is impossible in Arizona these days. But 300,000, you're putting 30,000 down. We give another 30,000. Now you're at 80% loan to value. You don't have PMI.
Oh, well. Can you compare this with anything like a bank statement loan as well, or just a standard USDA?
So bank statement, technically, there's not a provision saying no, but they got to income qualify, and bank statement isn't really an income qualify. Depends on the zip code they're moving from. So, for example, this is where it's a really goofy product. If you are moving from Phoenix to Casa Grande, it's going to hurt you. I'm sorry, reverse that. Casa Grande to Phoenix, because Casa Grande has a lower AMI than Phoenix does. But say it's one of your California buyers that are moving from California, they go off of the California zip code where they're moving from, not where they're moving to. So you can have someone move from San Francisco where the AMI might be $150,000. At area medium income. So they go off of that based off of where you're moving from. So marketing to people in California, hey, are you thinking about getting out of it? Can't afford the rat race anymore? Want to come to Arizona to get more for your money? And by the way, we've got a free 30,800.
Time to call all those PD people.
So the income. AMI.
Correct. But AMI is based off of how many people live in the household. So the more people in the household, the higher income you can make. So if you got a family of 5, it's a higher number than a family of 1.
Even if there's dependents.
Yep. You can even claim girls' friends as in the households. Yeah. So that's the basic program in a nutshell. Come in, participate in the mortgage commission, reinvest it into marketing, get more real estate.
You said it was 80% of AMI?
80% AMI. So if you
Of
go
where
online,
they-
you can Google it and say, what's the AMI of Maricopa County? It'll tell you, and just times that, but you have to do it by household for a family of 2 or family of 1. And then go in and say, okay, and now, take 80% of that. That's the number.
All right, let's do the script off. You can give them your phone number.
All right.
Real quick, jot this down.
480-797-6092.
And do him a favor and text them first with your first and last name. That'll be easier for him to sort through. Okay?
Okay.
All right, we're all yours,
Script
Rachel.
off.
All right. So you guys know, we have 1 round of sellers and we have 2 rounds of buyers because they seem to be happy. So red is sellers, orange is buyers, and pink are buyers. So we are going to start up with orange. Here's the rules for you guys too, because they're learning it for the first time.
We know nothing.
We will start with the ring. Okay. We want a ring, or do we want to
Sure.
be at the house? What do you guys want? I'll let you choose that.
Like, maybe it depends on the school.
Okay, well, that's just it. It's like a puzzle. Okay, you guys are gonna start, we'll have whoever wants to be right up to name the objection. As you guys go, at any point, they can raise their hands and apply the objection to the conversation. You guys have to pivot.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal?
What are their roles again?
We're acting like the salesperson. So you're the consumer, we're the salesperson, and you're gonna,
Fun.
is that not how it's going?
Nope, you can go back and forth each other. They're just gonna interject in the middle of it.
Oh, it's us 2 going back and forth? Oh, never mind. Your job is to, like, this is kind of like that, what's that improv thing that they do?
Yeah.
I've been waiting the whole 4 years to.
Mess with us.
Is like
Wow.
demeanor over here.
Yeah, apparently.
So what line is it anyway? That's what we're doing.
Whose line
is it anyway?
Yep, so you guys can decide if you wanna.
Okay.
Because we're gonna start with buyers, you can decide if who wants to be the agent, who wants to be the buyer.
Maybe count.
I will let you guys decide that. Okay, who has orange? Raise your hand.
The whole back row.
They get the best view. Okay, who wants to start? David, yeah, what do you got, Angel? I don't have a down payment. So we're gonna start with I don't have a down payment. Who's buyer and who's agent?
I would rather be the agent on this.
Yeah,
You wanna
I
be the
agree.
buyer?
Yeah, I'll be the buyer.
All
All
right.
right, go.
So you don't have a down payment. Here's the great part about buying a house. You actually don't need any money. It's actually harder to rent than it is to buy, because if you are renting, you need first and last month and a security deposit. When you're buying, if I get you with my agent or you're working with me, we're gonna write a contract. We'll get the seller to give you enough concessions to pay your closing costs and your prepaids. And if we close on the first of the month, that means the seller's gonna be paying your entire first month mortgage for you. So let's say we're closing on May 1st. We're gonna then, your billing process would start on June 1st, which means your first payment is due July 1st. All I need you to do is come up with appraisal money and we can get you in a house. You got $550 to pay for appraisal?
I'm sure I can figure it out. Yeah.
Great. If you can do that, I can get you into where you'll actually save 2 months of rent buying a house.
All right.
Interject in orange, let's go. Brittany, what do you got?
I wanna pay off some bills first. Okay?
So, that sounds awesome, except that I definitely need to pay off some bills first. I think my credit needs some help, so.
So I hear that from a lot of people. You never feel like you're ready. I talked to people 2 years ago. They said the same thing. They've already lost $100,000 in equity because they sat on it. So whatever you think you need to pay off on bills before you buy, you're losing more than that by waiting to buy. So if I were you, I wouldn't keep waiting. In fact, you know when the best time to plant a tree was, Alex?
I do, but no, I don't. When?
So it was 30 years ago. But if you didn't do it 30 years ago, when's the next best time? Right now. Yeah, so why wait? You're gonna put off whatever bills you think, they could have all been paid off of the equity of your house if you had just jumped in when you should.
James?
I need to think about it to see what happens with China.
I need to think about it, man. I don't know what's happening, overseas in China and all this stuff in the election.
So it's very interesting what's going on in China. In fact, had it gone on today, what happened when Trump was here, Trump was pushing for this. They were actually ready to file bankruptcy. The largest hedge fund in China, they're now blowing up all the cities that they built. They had the equivalent of all of Manhattan under construction in China, and they blew it up. So imagine the largest hedge fund. It's like watching Lehman Brothers collapse here when it was 2009. So the problem is when something like that happens, everybody races to put their money into safe havens. Do you know where the 3 safe havens are in the world?
No. Tell me.
All right, you got Germany, you got Switzerland, you got America. Those are the 3. If you put your money in Germany or Switzerland, they charge you interest to deposit money there. America, you can at least still get a return, but the return sucks. So assets is actually the best place to have your money, and real estate is the #1 asset. The reason it is, whether it's your primary residence, you got to pay a place to live, you can either be paying somebody else's mortgage or you pay your own. Or if you want to buy some extra investment properties, you have somebody else paying for your mortgage for you. That's why it's a number. It's why 9 out of 10 millionaires make their money in real estate.
What does all that got to do with me then?
So in China, if China continues to go bad, inflation in the United States is going to go even crazier. So if you're not invested, you don't already have your things set up, you're going to lose even more. Because inflation is cash is the worst thing to have in an inflationary market. What's the one thing that's being devalued? It's cash. Cash is horrible to have in an inflationary market. What is the #1 asset to have in an inflationary market? Real estate. It's the most expensive thing. So if you don't want to watch whatever savings you have go to zero, you need to double down and buy more real estate.
Objection.
This one's funny because I can't stand my sister, but my sister's an agent.
Well, man, these are all really great points that you've made, and I appreciate it, and that you reached out to me, and it's definitely been worth the meeting. But I'm gonna feel bad if I use you because my sister's an agent, and I promised her that she'd be an agent next time.
So how many deals has your sister done in the last?
Go with 8.
8's actually a thing. I did 200. So I don't know how you like to trust your most valuable decision that you're ever going to make to somebody who only did 8 transactions. Like that's less than what I do in a month. So if you're looking for the proper representation and make sure that you're getting the exact deal you should get in the right place you should get with the right financing, and if anything goes wrong that you're taken care of, I work with a professional. 8, that's part-time. No offense to anybody who's only doing 8.
Oh, hold on, let's go back. So you don't do 200. How would you handle that objection?
An agent who's doing 8 transactions a year, that's a pretty busy agent. So you're probably not going to get the representation. I've got nobody right now. Like if you want undivided attention, you call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm there. You want me to come watch your kids, babysit? Give me a call. Like, let's go take your kids. Let's go show them a house.
I don't trust real estate agents.
What's that?
I don't trust real estate agents.
And nor should you. We are the dirtiest people. There's only one person that's worse than a real estate agent, and that's a loan officer. And I do both. So by max 2 negatives make a positive, you can actually trust me.
Why should I hire you?
Now, which person you want me to be? The 8 or the 200?
No, he meant like the 200 unit producer or the 8 unit producer.
Yeah. Which one angle do you want me to take it from?
Let's do both.
All right, so we'll start with the bigger one because that's important. The reason you should trust me is I've been there, done that. I've seen more than most agents will ever see in their life. The average agent in the nation does 0 transactions a year. 0. I do 200 transactions a year, which makes me an expert in everything that I do. So when you're not going to ever stop me when something's going wrong, I already know the answer. If you want to go out and call my other people on the deals that they've been running, I'll happily give you a list of people where things went bad and I fixed it.
I'm not ready to work with an agent yet.
Why not?
Why not?
Sorry.
No, wait, just kidding. I'm not ready to work with an agent. Because I feel like you guys just really, all you do is just send properties and I can do that on Zillow just fine.
Yeah, Zillow gets you part of the properties. And it's gonna show you everything about pictures and nothing about what you really need to know. You know, I actually don't send you a bill if you don't buy it. Did you know that?
Yeah, I guess not.
We don't charge by the hour. So I'm actually a free service to you. But what I'm gonna do is protect you from things that Zillow doesn't protect you. In fact, I'll give you an example of one. This is a real Keller Williams deal that I'm involved with right now. I was working with a customer. And she decided that she was gonna save a little money and she went straight to Open. Open Door had never seen the property, they had been in the property, which meant I got basically zero from the bids. Got all excited. I bought the house of my dreams. My entire savings is into this home. I moved my family with 2 little kids into it to find out my next door neighbor's a pedophile. And he is rude and mean to me, and he is constantly yelling at my children. And I can't get out because I paid over value for the house because I've already checked with other agents that are when she came to me, I'm pulling up and I can't even sell it for what she paid for. And she has no life savings left. That's what you get when you work with people who are just online. You need to work with somebody who is local, who knows the community, who's going to go that extra mile to make sure that you're not moving your children next door to a pedophile.
I'm afraid of my own.
Afraid of your house losing value. Okay.
I'm afraid of my house losing value as a buyer. All right, yeah, I don't know if I want to buy right now, man. I think we're gonna have a recession and, so I'm buying, I think I should just wait.
Yeah, and I hear that a ton, by the way. There's a lot of people who believe that a recession is imminent. And I can't promise you that it won't. What I can promise you is there's a housing shortage in the United States. If you don't believe me, go over to LA, go to San Francisco. There's tent cities all over the place. If it drops, rates usually go up as well. During a recession, you have one or two ways that either the Fed is going to step on the rate and drop it down lower as an attempt to get us out of the recession. But because we're coming out of an inflationary, in fact, we're not even coming out of it. The CPI index came out last week. Rates went up 0.5% when they realized we're still in an inflationary market. So chances are the Fed is going to do nothing but continue to raise rates. So even if the properties do drop, the rate's going to go up. So your payment doesn't do anything. Dropping in value only matters if you're selling. How long do you plan on living in the property?
I don't know, probably in the next 3 to 5 years, give or take.
Yeah. So by the way, the national average is 5 years when people move into a property. Chances are, like the last time it was down, which was 2009. If you fast forward to 5 more years out, 2014, we gained back everything we lost. So as long as this is a long-term strategy, doesn't matter. It's like buying stocks. If you buy and you try to be a day trader, most people who are day traders do nothing but lose money. You don't see Warren Buffett, who is arguably the smartest stock trader in the nation, day trading. He makes long-term investments, blue chip stocks. That's how you make money over time. Buying real estate, it needs to be a long-term decision. If you're thinking 5 years and you're worried about 5, well, let's find your house that you could stay in for the next 7 to 10. And now you don't have to worry about it because there has never been a time period where it took 10 years to bounce back.
Do we have any more?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to make sense to purchase a home. I think I'm still just gonna wait.
Eric, you made some great points today, man, but honestly, I think I'm, still gonna wait. I'm feeling uneasy with everything, still, and yeah, so I'm gonna hold off.
Sure, I don't look at it. It's your decision. But out of curiosity, what are the things that make you uneasy? Are you uneasy about values? Are you uneasy about interest? Do you think you're losing your job? Like, what is it that makes you uneasy?
Yeah, it's gonna be the payment.
So what are you paying a rent right now?
$3,000 a month.
So you're fine at 3,000 in a rent, but you're not fine at 3,000 in a mortgage. So help me understand what's the disconnect? Same money, just now you own.
Yeah, the house that I'm gonna need is gonna be more than $3,000 a month to purchase though,
Okay, how much more?
about $1,000 more a year.
So it's
a month.
$4,000 a month. Have you looked to see what whatever you're investing, and I know a home shouldn't be an investment, it should be something you just want to live in. But when you're investing, you have to look at opportunity loss and opportunity cost. Your opportunity cost is the extra $1,000 a month, but before you just wash that away, because when you're paying rent, you have absolutely zero tax benefit. So out of that $1,000 extra, I'm willing to guess we could get with an accountant so that you can see what the exact number is, but probably about a third of that, maybe even half of that is going to be gained by a lower tax bracket if you now not paying the state of Arizona and the federal government. Whatever's not there, then you have to go and look and say opportunity loss. The opportunity loss when buying a real estate is what do they go up in value? So if you take the last 60 years, you can pretty much look and say long-term real estate goes up 3% a year. Now get rid of the COVID years when it was going up 20% a year and just say, what's the average? Well, if you're buying a $500,000 house, 3% is $15,000 a year. You're only going up $1,000 a month in payment. So already you're getting more off of appreciation than what you're paying on the thing. Now, if it's an uncomfortable thing, that's what we should get with an accountant right up front. And we should figure out what your tax savings is. And we should already go to your employer and drop how much you're having withheld, because there's no reason for you to give the federal government your money interest free. So let's make sure that you're maximized based off of where your new tax bracket is going to be, so that you have the exact cash flow that you should have. And then let's see if it's comfortable. Do you have a good accountant?
Probably not.
Good, let me get you a mic.
Awesome. I think we're gonna wrap up this round.
Can you tell you the loan officer?
You guys are doing a really good job of just kind of picking it up, and I'm like, really, this is fun. Okay, we're gonna switch it again. We're gonna go sellers, so you guys switch hats. Okay, which means, Alex,
Perfect. You're on the hot
you're gonna
seat.
have to be agent.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be seller. So, red, raise your hand. Lovely. Who wants to start?
My interest rate is really low. Why would I want to trade that in?
I can hear that one all the time.
So I appreciate you wanting to list my house, but I'm worried I can't replace the payment I have right now. My rate's I got a 3% rate.
Awesome. Hey, Eric, would you agree you kind of brought me out here because you currently kind of have like a challenge or a problem with this house?
Yeah, I got a pedophile living next door driving.
Gotcha. So, hey, out of curiosity, is that keeping you up at night?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about it is keeping you up at night?
Well, my kids go to sleep. I'm worrying if I got Peep and Tom inside the window, and it's not fun. Went and bought a gun last week.
Yeah, and I just have to ask, because there's no right or wrong answer here, but is that being kept up at night and worrying about your kids worth that low interest rate?
So my concern is if I lose the low interest rate, how do I afford the next house?
Well, and that's a great question, right? At the end of the day, no one's going to make a move if they can't qualify for the next house, right? But have you had a moment to be able to sit down and see what that looks like? Have we sat you down with one of our lenders to have a conversation about what that move may look like?
Yeah, no, not yet. But my concern is I know the last time I met with the bank, they told me I qualified for way more than I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
I have a crazy lifestyle. I like to party. They claim that I can qualify for this, but they don't know what I do on the weekends. Like, it's expensive.
No, I love that. You know what?
I can give that up.
We need it. Yeah, you know what? We'll go out and we'll play hard together as well. So, right. So, hey, but, and, I appreciate you sharing that with me. Look, there's going to be a lot of factors here that you have to take into consideration. Some of them are logical and some of them are emotional, right? On that emotional side though, like being worried about that neighbor and your kids, that's going to weigh a lot heavier than probably that party does, right? So
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I called you for a reason, but I need something that makes me feel good about giving up this 3% rate.
Yeah, so let's do this. Out of curiosity,
Can you find me a deal? Like,
yeah,
something, I need something.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a couple options. Here's if you're down for this game plan, right? You let me know if, with your permission. Number one, I got to get you connected with our lender, right? Because one of the factors that can play into interest rate is how much of your money is up for grabs, right? If you can get some free money, maybe, right? You know, let's take a look at that. Number two, one of the things that I have done successfully for some other for some other clients is that we've actually been able to find them a property that's going to work for them that actually has an interest rate that is assumable that's close to what you have right now. So I actually just got one of our clients into a property for a 2.87% interest rate, right? And it was their dream home.
So I have an FHA loan. Can you sell mine and get me some extra money for that low rate I got?
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah, thanks for teeing that up for me. So, yeah, so exactly. So a lot of people like in your position, that FHA loan, one of the provisions in there is that it can be assumed by somebody, right? And because people are dying for low interest rates like you are, we could probably sell your house for more than what it's actually currently valued at because people are willing to pay more for that interest rate. And in the perfect world, what we're gonna do is go find you that same scenario and a house that we're free away from the pedophile. How's that sound?
That sounds right.
I need to do repairs with my home before I can sell.
Dude, I got these crazy kids and a wife who's even crazier. My house is not in good condition. Like, if you brought people over, they're not gonna wanna buy it as, I got dog piss and poop on the carpets. I got a roof that's messed up. My AC units are making some squeaky noises, like. How are we gonna sell? I mean, I get they're paying for my rate, but I got a turd. They're polishing them.
So, you know what, out of curiosity, if all those things didn't have to be a concern at all, and we can get you a fantastic offer for it, would that make sense for you?
Yeah, can you just come and fix it for me though? Like, you got programs where you do it?
You know what, we can. The question is, you know, do you need the kids home all the time? They're gonna wanna come in and, you know, or can you give me a week?
Yeah,
Could you move into
probably
something?
not.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm poor.
All right, so here's the reality. Every agent should be doing this for you, right? At the end of the day, I need to give you three options, right? So that you can make the best decision for you. Number one is I actually have an entire crew that can come in here and take care of all of these repairs for you, right? And the best part, it doesn't even have to be $1 out of your pocket. Okay?
I show my interest.
So number two, we can sell this property as is and not worry about it. Does it hurt a little bit on how much you get, but the convenience of you not having to worry about getting the kids out, for showings, right? We can make sure to give you that option as well. So straight up just cash offer for not having to worry about it. Number three is we go ahead and we take a look at listing it to the public, right? And what we do is, since we know those things, right, we're gonna go ahead and list that property at what in buyer's mind is gonna be like an auction price and let them fight over it. So imagine having people fight over your home, even though you have all that stuff that needs to be done to it.
That'd be nice.
Okay, awesome. Then go for the close and figure out which one they want to do. So.
I think the market's gonna crash.
Dude, I think the market's gonna crash. How fast can you sell this home then? Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna crash next week. Can you time it perfectly where I sell it at the top dollar and it crashes the very next day?
Yeah.
I buy?
I have this awesome crystal ball right here. So, hey, if you really do think that the market's going to crash, right, it is a great opportunity for us to make that happen for you as quickly as possible. Now, my question is, what's your plans after that?
Well, it depends if the market's gonna crash and it's sitting waiting.
Yeah, awesome.
Gonna rent, you got a rental property for me? You got an ADU in your backyard I can jump in?
Right, yeah, mobile home. So,
Hey, gotta,
uh-huh.
a room.
Yeah.
Where's the rent, James?
I'll test.
Hey, in all seriousness, if you think the market's going to crash, right, then by default, you believe that we're at the peak of where we're at right now?
Yeah, I hear all this stuff on the news and it just seems like everyone's selling that. World's coming to an end.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, right, because that's important for me, is to make sure your questions get answered, is how quickly can we make that happen is going to be in direct correlation for what price we're willing to let it go for, right? So we can get somebody come in here, we already talked about all the repairs that need to happen. So one of those options is getting you a cash offer where like, we'll have you out of here in 7 days if you wanted to, right? So on the flip side, I also need to be concerned about where it is that you and your kids are going to go, right? So we do have some stuff that we need to work on as well in that regard. Now, at the end of the day, you got to decide, right? Real estate has never been a bad investment. Would you agree with that?
That's been great for me.
Like, great. Yep. So I'd hate for you to miss out on that as well, because if the market doesn't crash and now all of a sudden we see a drop in rates, demand in homes, that means you're missing out on what?
The upside.
The upside, right? The climate equity. So what I want to be able to sit down with you is we're gonna have to sit down and come up with a plan, right? Is it moving into a rental? We'll let that market crash and then we're there ready, right? Or we get you into something. And one of the things I do want to advise you is that we need to take into consideration you not missing up on that upside because all the signs are pointing towards that being the case, right? So, and we can sit down and talk about that further for sure. Okay.
Objection.
I don't wanna pay for the buyer's agent.
Woo! Wait, come on, we've been waiting.
Yeah, I've been watching this whole stuff on the news and I'm done with these agents making a bunch of money they don't deserve. Like the buyer's agent, they need to pay for their own representation.
Yeah. You mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. How much do you want to charge someone to view your home?
As much as I can,
Yeah. So just to view it, not to buy it, just to view it, like actually.
but I'm charging them.
You're gonna charge them an admission. You go, hey, it's like you're the movie theater, you gotta pay to see my house.
As much as I can get away with, whatever that dollar is.
Okay, so how many people do you think are gonna come see it if you're charging them?
Well, if you're a really good agent, like you say you are, it'd be a lot.
You know what?
You're,
The best agent in the
can't
world.
you just
man.
bring them to me?
I know, yeah, that'd be great, right? And so
Yeah.
what would work better if we didn't charge them, right? Would you agree? Would more people want to see your house if we didn't charge?
Yeah, but now I got everybody coming in and dirtying up my floors. I just got them cleaned. I got all the dog poop and pee out of it. Yeah.
You have not,
Yeah, I
yet.
got
I'm gonna be
whatever.
taking care of
It's
that.
free every time Dick and Harry's coming through.
Well, out of curiosity, so what happens at auction houses? Do they charge people to bid on the home?
I don't know.
No, okay, they don't, right? So at an auction situation, they go, hey, everybody come in here and we want anybody to put up the paddle, right? And they go, I'll pay that, right? So now, out of curiosity, if people do that in an auction situation, what do you think would happen if we actually offered to pay people to come see your home?
I don't know. It would drive the price up.
Because
More people would want it.
more people would come see it, more people would want it, right? So what if the people we pay to come see it, we only have to pay the person that actually ends up buying?
Yeah, but is it really worth 3%?
We haven't settled on that by any means. The question is, would more people coming through the door help raise the price here?
Maybe. I'm assuming so, yes.
Okay,
But I still don't want to pay them. They're dirtbags. We talked about this earlier.
yeah, but the great part is you only gotta pay them if they actually, do we care about the dirt bag if they help you accomplish your goals and buy the house?
Is it gonna get me more money if I pay them?
100%.
All right.
All right.
Eric wants to be more difficult than I was then, so.
You're always gonna find that jack.
They're right.
So.
One more hot seat, guys.
Wonderful.
One more. Okay, that means I got each left. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys run, because we know how it runs twice, 3 times. Okay, who's first?
Never mind, which one is this?
Buyer.
one again? This is buyer.
We're back to buyer, so.
All right, so I'm back to it. You're
Yeah,
gonna be,
all right.
now you're gonna do payback.
Yeah, now I.
You better, hurry up. All right,
Uh,
Sarah.
I'm gonna wait until interest rates drop.
Hey, Eric, you know what, thanks for coming out, man, but, honestly, I'm gonna wait for rates to drop, you know, I'm not gonna do this whole 6-7% thing, you know, if it happened before, it can happen again, so I'm good, man.
Dude, I hear that so often, like literally, that's all I talk about all day, every day. Can I give you a little history lesson?
No. Yes.
So I'll be really brief. Back in 2020, if the house on the market was listed for 500,000, you couldn't buy it for 500,000. You didn't stand a chance buying it for $500,000. At a bare minimum, you had to go at 10% over offer price, 550. So I want you to put over in this column here $50,000, because that's real money. It's not fake. That's extra you're paying up and beyond the value of the home. Keep that aside. Okay. During that same time, you also couldn't get any repairs made whatsoever. It was buy it as is or piss off. I have 20 other people behind you that don't care if the AC is deferred maintenance. I'm going to just say, to be a safe conservative bet, that's a 3%. 500,000, that's 15,000. Put that over. So now where we at? 50,000 plus? 65,000. All right. During that same time, if you needed any type of seller concessions whatsoever, couldn't get it. Today, I'll get you 3% concessions all day long. It's another $15,000. Now what are we up to?
$80.
$80,000. All right. And you're also a first-time home buyer. And I have this wish program that's gonna give you $30,000 more. What's 80 plus 30,000?
110.
$110,000. If I came to you today and said, I will give you that 3% rate today, but you're gonna give me $110,000. Are you giving it to me? No. But that's what you would do if you wait for rates to go down, because here's what happens in Arizona. In Arizona, we typically sell 8,000 houses a month. During COVID, we sold 12,000 houses. And since June of 2022, we have dropped down to 6,000 houses. That's 2,000 per month below our normals. So let's take that. You got June of 22 to June of 23. That's a 12 months. Now take June to December, that's 18 months. And then you got December to April, another 4. So we're at 22 months at 2,000 people a month. That's 44,000 buyers who are sitting the sidelines just like you. Now, what do you think is going to happen when rates hit even 5%? They're going to jump in the market. We only have, and I don't know the number, how many houses are available for sale right now? 17,000 houses available for sale. 44,000 people plus our normal 8,000, 52,000 people trying to buy 17,000 houses. What do you think market we're going back to?
Multiple offer thing.
You are going to pay $110,000 over market. Because by the time you wait, that 30,800, I'm going to sell it to 400 other people who were smart enough to listen to me and buy and get their free 30,800. And they're not going to pay over market, and they're going to get seller concessions, and they're going to get a house that they can ask for repairs and get fixed and corrected. If you want to be the guy who loses 110,800, you should go work with a realty executives or a EXP agent, because they sell that crap all day long. But here at Keller Williams, we don't do that crap. We take care of our people. At 110,000 is a lot of money. In fact, if you're using it on a 500,000 purchase price, that's 20%. Are you willing to give up 20% because you think that rates are going to go down? You can always refinance. Rates go down, refinance, great. But you will never get that $110,000 back. You wait till it's.
I'm not going to be able to pay you commission. Buyers.
Yeah, so I saw all the headlines, all over Instagram, Eric, and like, you got a great point, but even if I work with you, like, I'm hearing that there's houses not even paying your commission anymore, and I'm not gonna be able to afford to pay your commission.
Here's the cool thing. We're gonna go out, we're gonna look at houses. There may be houses I show you that can't. But I just got in the mortgage business as well. So as long as I can still do your loan, let's go look at houses. I'll get my $2,500. That's enough for me. But will you refer your friends and family to me because you know that it doesn't matter to me whether I get paid or not?
Fair
By the way,
enough.
do you have a friend or family member who's thinking about buying or selling a house right now that I could meet?
I might know somebody.
Perfect. Hey, that's worth it to me. We'll trade. But I don't want my commission to get in the way of you buying the house you want. We'll go out, you let me negotiate with the seller on my commission. I can go and negotiate, you're taken care of. I'm never gonna ask you to buy a house that isn't the house that you want. Perfect.
All right, last one. That would be you, my dear.
I want to change it up.
Change it up.
So, I'm looking, you're selling the house, right? The 500.
Well, I'm the agent,
You're the agent. So
or I'm sorry, I'm the agent trying to convince the buyer to buy.
the buyer to buy.
Yes.
So what I would want to say, am I spending too much on this property? Being it's at 500,000, and Mary and Jade just bought the property from the street behind for 460. It seems to have the exact same square footage and same everything. So I'm worried about overpaying for this house.
Yeah, Eric, hey, thanks for showing me this property today, but like this thing, I gotta at least get 50,000 off, not like 100,000 off. I think it's completely overpriced.
So that could be the case, and I'm willing to write whatever offer you want to write. However, in looking at it and what's available on the market today, there's not a lot in this price range that match all the requirements you need. You're looking for a seller concession to help buy down your rate. You're looking for a seller concession to help pay some of your down payment. And with that, that gets put into the purchase price. The person who bought next door, they may have been a cash offer. They may not have needed the same things that you need. Your situation is unique to you. And so the great part about overpaying, they have this wonderful law that came out that does not allow us to influence the appraisers. Back 2009, we did that all the time. We could influence. Today we can't. We're going to order that appraisal through an AMC, which is an appraisal management company. They then go in and hire the appraiser. There is no one who's going to push the appraiser. If it's not worth $475, it won't appraise. and then we're back to negotiations with the seller to make it right. You're not gonna ever overpay based off of today's comps. But please remember, you're asking for more than what a normal person would ask for. You're 3.5% down FHA and you need concessions. This seller is willing to give you those concessions.
All right,
All right,
okay. So before anything else, I mean, the biggest round of applause, because I want you guys to wait. I want you guys to truly acknowledge that these gentlemen just sat here and we pegged them. They had no idea what we were coming at them with. And they shifted and they did the things that they needed to, and they objection handled like pros. And there's not enough words I can say to you guys to say thank you for just sitting in the seat with us today, okay? So let's go. Question, got a couple minutes. Thought.
Alec, I would really like the way you handle the question of why should we pay a commission? As you put it, what would the seller pay someone or pay to bring in a buyer to the door? How many buyers do you think will actually come? I like the way you handle it.
appreciate that. And the whole purpose there, like, you know, help them paint a picture, like we could not pay anybody to come see your house, right? And again, you can go any approach you want on that, right? Like you can even bring up eBay if you feel like they're going to relate to it, you know, if you want to, but like, what would it look like if we paid someone to actually come and see your house, right? Are people going to rush to come see that, you know? And by the way, what if we only had to pay the individual that actually ended up buying it, not just the people that saw it, right? And so if you can take them through that journey, that'll like help them understand, like, yeah, I want to do that. Then you go, then you do want to pay a buyer's agent because of X, what, then you'll be able to explain the process to them better from there, right? So.
What else?
Eric, I love all this data that you have, because I think, you know, being a lender, you know a lot of things about the numbers and how to explain them. And I think that will be really nice. So you need to send us a newsletter every month with the stats.
Yeah.
We can repeat it, yes?
One of the things I highly recommend, especially when you have a stubborn customer like that, get me on the phone with you. I'm here to help support and help close your people. I'll walk them through the data. And when you hear it a few times, pretty soon it'll just become like clockwork. You'll have it down.
You don't need to say the brokerage name, but it wasn't Keller Williams. Do you actually mind sharing that story?
Which one?
How do I don't want to throw you were meeting with the owners, but an agent had a client that was stubborn when you walked by. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't figured it out, I'm kind of an asshole.
No.
And I take pride in it. So I'm walking through this office with the owners of another brokerage, and I see a customer talking with the agent, and they were using I'm going to wait for rates to go down before I buy. And I couldn't help myself. I stopped and I said, who told you that? And she goes, well, the loan officer that I'm working with told me that. I said, you should fire that loan officer right now. She goes, wait, excuse what? I go, well, how long have you been looking for a house? She says, about 6 months. I said, and what have rates done during the last 6 months? Well, they've gone up and up and up. I go, so that loan officer has done nothing but cost you money, and you're still taking him at his word as if he knows what's going on. You should be offended. You should be pissed off, and they're not going to get better. Go log on. Like if you have any type of social media account, see what the government is saying about inflation. And as long as inflation is high, it's going to continue to go up, which means it's going to cost you more and more and more. You should be pissed off. You should fire them. You should find someone who knows what they're talking about. And I walk away. Now the owners are on my ass. We have been trying to get her to work with you for years, and what you just did is unacceptable. You can't do that in office. She's going to hate you. And I looked at him and I smiled like, she's gonna love me. She'll be in here in a few minutes, give me a hug. And they're like, no, she's not that type of agent. You do not. Sure enough, within a few minutes, she comes walking in and she looks mad. And so these two are being sheepish. And she goes, who are you? And I said, oh, I'm Eric Bowlby. And she goes, oh, is this who you guys have been trying to get me to talk to? They're still be, yeah. She goes, well, And she gives me a hug. She goes, I just want to say thank you. I've been working with those people for 6 months. I have not been able to get them to sign a contract. And you saying what you said, they just signed a contract. I'm going to submit it over to the listing agent. And I'm hopeful we're going to get them under. By the way, she wants your name and number because she wants you to do her mortgage. Wow. Use me. I'm a resource, especially because I'll always be viewed as a third party. Let me help support you and get, by the way, is there anyone who doesn't believe that now is a great time to buy? If you don't believe now is a great time to buy, please call me. Let's go over some numbers. There hasn't been a better time since 2019 to buy than right now. There really hasn't. All those houses we sold in 2020, 2021, those people got screwed. That 3% rate cost them $110,000. You know what the break even is now for those people? It's like 15 years before they're going to see their money back. They all got hosed. We sold the hell out of it though. We did everybody a disservice during that time. Now is a much better time to buy it. We should be pounding our chests and screaming it from the rooftops. Now is a much better time to buy. They are literally saving $100,000 on a $500,000 purchase price. We should be proud of who we are. We should, someone talks about rates being low and you should look at it and go, you don't want rates low unless you're a seller. When you're a buyer, you don't want rates low. You want to refinance when rates are low. You wanted to buy when rates are high. That's when you get the better deals. So yeah, use me as a resource. Let me help out. If you can't tell, all I do is sell all day. I'm actually a horrible loan officer. I have a team behind me that does all the work. I don't sit and look at tax returns. I let underwriters do that for me, that's all I hire on my team. Underwriters take it from application to pre-qual. When the contract comes in, my LOA takes it from contract to close. I have the best and the best that support. My job is to support you in sales. How do I help move that person off the ledge and get them into a contract? Because none of us make any money until they sign a contract.
Love it.
So yeah, reach out anytime if I can be of help, but I'll talk and come in as often as you guys will have me. I love to teach the data because I like, how many of you guys are the data person in your family? My wife's the emotional buyer. So not to be stereotypical, but my wife buys based off of the color. But one time we didn't buy $1 million house, kid you not, because someone didn't flush a toilet. That's my wife, right? Like, oh, well, they don't flush toilets in this house. What else is a mess, right? Like, that's how she thinks. She's a nightmare for any of you. And with me, you can't get me to buy unless the math makes sense. Math has to make sense to me. And usually in every relationship, you have that. It's not always the stereotypical where the woman is the emotional and the guy is the math. It's reversed quite a bit as well, but the emotional person always wants to buy the new house. You don't have to sell them. The math person, if you don't sell, you're never getting close. So when you get that stubborn math person, tag me in. That's how I know how to relate to them because that's who I am. If you ask me to talk to the person because they didn't flush a toilet and there's a turd, that doesn't make no damn sense to me. I don't know how to get that person off the fence. I can't get my wife off that fence, right? And so, but if you got the math person, I'm your guy. I will help move them forward.
All right, one more round of questions. Anybody?
No, but I like how you talk with the confidence. The confidence really sells. Like you can hear when you kind of fidget your words, like, get stuck a little bit. People catch that's the confidence you speak with, how fluently you speak is really what attracts them.
So I'll give you two advices when it comes to scripting them. Number one, especially when you first start cold calling, hang a mirror in front of you. What you look like is what you sound like.
Yeah.
So if you look depressed and beans aren't going because the previous 25 people told you to kill yourself, which by the way happens a lot.
Oh, it does.
That's what you'll sound. And the more you sound like, I call it sales mouth. People feel desperation. Would you ever follow somebody who's desperate? No. So you gotta have that. I'm here. I've got you. Right. That's what everybody wants to follow.
People can sense it over the phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
And they will tear you up and spit you out if you don't sound confident. So A, have that. B, practice. It's okay to fail. Like hop on the phone, fail as many times as you want. And every time you fail, go like today. The only reason why I could be fast on all my responses, I do this all day, every day. I'm on the phone convincing people of why now is a better time. So there wasn't one thing that I had that I haven't practiced multiple times, or I didn't fail at somewhere down the road and realize what I should have said. Like, do you guys go to bed at night and run through every scenario you had before you can fall asleep and go, shoot, I should have said this, that would have changed. Like, I'm sick that way. So like, take notes. these are the things that I'm seeing. How do I overcome those objections? What am I not seeing? You have a wonderful community here where you guys could reach out to each other and say, hey, I'm running into this. What could you say? Like to Charles's credit, how you get someone to overcome the objection of
The commission.
pay a commission, right? That's a golden nugget now, if it saves you that one deal, how much do you guys make on your average deal?
10K.
10K. Right? That's a $10,000 nugget right there. And if you get enough nuggets, pretty soon, it doesn't even feel like you're overcoming objection. You're just simply stating facts. And you're helping people make decisions based off of facts.
I was just thinking something, I'm sure she's already gonna do this, but everybody that was here, can you send them those objections? Because I think one of the challenges that agents run into is like really on the spot thinking of objections, right? And if you have paid attention and bought the book, exactly what to say, there's plenty of objections in that book, right? But I think this was fun, like that you guys should be able to like print these out and then test yourself as you're driving, as you're in front of the mirror.
love
So,
that.
yeah.
I love that. 100%. I can definitely send in the follow-up email all of the objections. Yeah.
Well, to everyone who came, there's not enough words to say how thankful we are to have like shared this experience. Do you think it was fun? Because I think it was like a freaking blast.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Good time.
Okay, so one more round of applause and then we're gonna break. If you guys have questions, these guys are here for you. I'm here for you. Megan's here for you.
Food's
Courtney,
here for you.
you sell food, whatever. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're off the
Now
hot
we're
seat.
free.
You're free. All right, anybody on Zoom, do me a favor and just email me right now. That way I can make sure you guys get the email.
Past 20 years.
You got me. You got me.
Nicole, Daniel, Rena, Laura.
So.
Yes, I will get the QR code stuck out too.